Hello, everyone. Thank you guys so much for tuning into our webinar today. We're so excited to have you all joining us, and we're just going to dive right in. So, today's webinar is called How to Fix Your Thyroid and Balance Your Hormones, even if you've been told your lab tests are normal, but you still feel horrible. Now, this works even if your doctor has no clue how to help you, and you'll never have to see an endocrinologist. So, I'm Dr. Jessica Conlin, and I'm the co founder of Bethel Holistic Clinic, and I'm known as the thyroid specialist. And if you've ever heard everything looks normal while your body is screaming the opposite, you are in the right room. Here's my promise. In the next 90 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact path my clients use to fix their thyroid and balance their hormones. And we're going to go step by step so you can start moving from symptoms to strategies. So, a quick check. Do you want to fix your hormones? If that's a yes, say yes in the chat, nod your head because that's exactly what I'm going to show you today. By the end, you'll walk away with why normal labs still miss what's really wrong. You'll know the exact path my clients follow to get better, and you're going to know your best next action steps to take right after this webinar. So that's our success metric for today. If you can outline your next steps to take and understand why they'll work, then this class did its job. So what I need from you, I need your attention. I want you to pretend as if we're doing a one-on-one consultation. So you're going to get 2 of my best hours. So I want you to turn off Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all the social media sites. I can't name them all. I want you to put your phone on airplane mode, do not disturb, and let's get started. So who is this webinar for? This webinar is for you if you have trouble losing weight and if you want to restore steady energy. This is for you. If you want to clear out that brain fog and lift your mood and get rid of the anxiety, you want to regrow thinning hair, you want to calm skin changes, this is the webinar for you. If you want to fix digestion, your reflux, irritable bowel syndrome, bloating, this is for you. You want to ease muscle and joint pain, you're in the right place. If you want to fall asleep easier and stay asleep, you want to feel motivated again and go after your goals, you're in the right place. Who this webinar is especially for is if your doctor says your labs are normal, but you still feel awful. I'm glad you're here. If you've been referred to multiple specialists with no big picture plan in sight, yes, you'll want to stay tuned. If you're not getting a full optimal thyroid and hormone workup, this is for you. If you felt dismissed, overlooked, misdiagnosed, or even mocked, yep, this is the right place for you. And if you want a root cause plan that's personalized and guided, stay tuned. You're going to learn so much here. Who this webinar is not for. This is not for you if you want a microwave fix or like a lose weight fast plan like Ozempic or Manjaro with no lifestyle or root cause plan, then this ain't for you. If you believe more prescriptions alone will solve everything, then we're just not a good fit. And if you're looking for a one size fits all plan without labs, coaching, or follow through, this webinar is just not for you. So at the end, I'm going to make you a very special offer. This will give you everything that you need to feel your best again in the next 30 days. So you'll definitely want to make sure you stay on to the very end. So why am I qualified to teach this? Like I said earlier, I'm Dr. Jessica Conlin, and I'm a doctor of pharmacy, and I'm a licensed pharmacist in Oklahoma. And I have specialized training in holistic and functional medicine. I also have a bachelor's of science in chemistry, and I've completed advanced compounding training through the Professional Compounding Centers of America, which we just call PCCA for short. Plus, I've had advanced body identical or bioidentical hormone replacement therapy training. I've had dedicated training in hormone and thyroid care, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and other autoimmune diseases. I've worked for 14 years as a pharmacist. I've spent 10 of those years as a hormone and thyroid consulting pharmacist, and I've been co-owner of Bethel Holistic Clinic for the last 10 years. Patients and my peers know me as the thyroid specialist and a hormone expert. I'm a compounding pharmacist who specializes in body identical hormone replacement. I'm a holistic health coach, a nutritional coach, a functional medicine lab analyst too. So I've helped many women in perimenopause, postmenopause, helped so many people with thyroid disease move from normal labs to normal life. Better sleep, steadier energy, clear mood, calm digestion, and weight that finally responds. At Bethel Holistic Clinic, I combine the pharmacy level precision with root cause medicine. And today I'll show you the exact sequence we use here at Bethel so you can stop guessing, start measuring, and feel a real difference. Is that okay with you guys? All right, cool. So let's dive in. So, I want to tell you about one of my favorite clients. I call her Jane Blogs here because, of course, got to protect people's privacy. So, about Jane, she was 48 years old. She was married. She's still married. She's married and juggling a thriving career, leadership at her church. She was raising two kids at the time and even hosting her own podcast. On the outside, life really looked great, but on the inside, she was miserable. Like her heart was flip-flopping, irregular heartbeats, pounding at rest. Her bones were really fragile. Like if she would have tripped and fall, it could have meant multiple fractures. Her days, they were really empty. She had chronic fatigue. She had zero joy. Her brain was on low power. Her nights were broken. Falling asleep was hard. Staying asleep was nearly impossible. And she had relentless heartburn. She had allergy flares. She had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and she had high blood sugar creeping towards diabetes. So she did what everyone is told to do. She got prescriptions for the heartburn, the for the heart, and she got prescriptions for the heart issues, the pain, the allergies, more pills for the side effects. She took vitamins, teas, had to chug coffee throughout the day just to function. She tried diets, workouts, and still the numbers didn't move. She even had a hysterectomy because she bled so heavy during her menstrual cycle. And then they were like, oh, okay, we'll just take the uterus, leave the ovaries. But then she got an infection, so that forced them to have to remove the ovaries. So as you could tell, she is really sick. She had had all these tests done, y'all. Mammograms, ultrasounds, scopes, samples, scans. She had gone through the specialist carousel with cardiologists, rhythm, endo, gyno, rheumo, primary. She had the works. And after all of that, the verdict she kept hearing was, your labs are normal. 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 While she felt like her body was falling apart, she was literally on the brink of death and she had no idea. She just knew she felt horrible. Jane had the drive, she had the willpower to get better, and she wasn't willing to stop searching for help until she was healthy. She kept telling herself that I am so close. And then one day she had had enough and she decided to search for help. And she came across our clinic on Facebook and she decided to become a client of ours. So after I reviewed Jane's case, I had to agree with her. Even with all of her symptoms, she was so close. She was just missing one thing. So we started working together, and I told Jane, listen, we need to find the root cause of your symptoms. Instead of using all these prescription and over the counter drugs and surgeries, we need to find out why you keep having all these health issues. You need to find out what the root cause is so that you can get better. So Jane, now she's a patient of ours and she keeps living her life. She only changes one thing. Now, instead of seeing a bunch of doctors and taking a bunch of drugs, I found the root cause of her symptoms and we removed that root cause from her body. So now Jane, whose health was a complete disaster for years and was literally on the brink of death because of her heart issues, now all of her life-threatening heart issues were gone. Her palpitations stopped, her bone loss was reversed, her energy returned, her sleep stabilized, her reflux quit, her blood pressure dropped, and her mood and focus stabilized. And it was normal. She was finally calm. And here's an email Jane sent me after working with me. Now, okay, y'all, it's a little small on my end. Let me blow it up that down here. So she said, I'm armed and I read all of the sites you gave me. Dr. Jessica, God used you to save my life. I would have gone misdiagnosed until it was too late or suddenly. I'm in tears and thankful that God led me to you. And it's just such a special email. It's so nice to be able to have such kind words. So I'm so grateful to have been able to be of use and help for her. So, but what changed? What took Jane from being miserable and tired and so sick to being vibrant now and happy and full of life and ready to just, grab life by the horns? The secret was Jane knew what the root cause of her symptoms was and she knew how to get rid of it. You see, having a whole bunch of complicated symptoms is never the problem. The problem is not knowing why you have the symptoms. It doesn't matter how many doctors you see, how many drugs you take, or how many surgeries you have. If you don't find and remove the root cause of your symptoms, you can never get better. But if you can make just one tweak and commit to this right system that finds and removes the root cause of your health issues, then you can reclaim your health like Jane Blocks. If you know the secret. My friends, can I share with you the secret? Yeah, let's go. All right. This is all great because you're just one root cause system away from the life you want, the marriage you want, the relationships you want. Everything that you want is going to be fueled by the healthy life you build for yourself. Right now, you're here, you're probably struggling with your health. I want you to do something. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to visualize in 30 days from now, after you go through this process that Jane Bloggs went through, imagine what life could be like. Imagine you on the other side. This is happening to other people just like you. Now, because you're here, you have the same ability to get the same results that the other people who were in your same shoes are getting. I want you to visualize for a second. How exciting will it be knowing that you'll have everything that you need to get you to that success point in the future? So, if you've tried diets and supplements and doctors in the past and it hasn't worked, it's okay. The reality is that it's not you. If you brought other people's programs, and there are a lot of scams out there, it's okay. If you haven't had success, that's probably why. I'm different. I'm the outsider that's coming in to show you guys exactly what is going to work. You've tried to go to nutritionists in the past or so-called functional medicine doctors. You may have tried fitness trainers and OBGYNs and it hasn't worked. It's okay. A lot of times people get into the natural health arena and they don't really have a goal to help someone to be successful. Well, mine is different. I am driven by results. I just want to see you well. All I want is to see you get the results you want. I'm here to encourage your dreams and help you to be successful. That's what's going to be happening during this presentation. But first, is it all right if I tell you guys how we got started? All right. So my husband and I, we opened our pharmacy called Bethel Pharmacy in March 2015. And that's my husband Aaron with me in the picture on the left. And he's the manager of the clinic. So we were so excited. Like God had told us to open this pharmacy and we had finally done it. And with our pharmacy, we wanted to help people solve their unique health problems and really be a blessing to our local community. We wanted to bring the world of clinical pharmacy to the corner drugstore. You can think of clinical pharmacy as the patient care side of pharmacy, focusing on improving health outcomes rather than just filling prescriptions. And we had a huge compounding lab that we would make medicines for people, and we were selling regular prescription drugs, and then we sold vitamins and supplements as well. And we thought we had made it, y'all. We thought that if we built it, they would come. We thought we were going to be big time in the pharmacy game. We even hired a great marketer to promote our compounding meds. We were doing radio shows. The local news channels were running stories on our new pharmacy. We were all over social media. We're like, yes, this is happening finally. And then whap, insurance companies slapped us. And it wasn't just a little slap. Like that slap stung and it took us completely by surprise. So, in that same year of 2015, insurance companies started to dramatically drop the amount of money they would pay a pharmacy for the drugs that were being sold to patients. So, if we bought a drug for $250, then the insurance company would give us $200 as a reimbursement. We would lose $50 if we sold that drug to the patient. Can you believe this? And it wasn't just our pharmacy this was happening to. This was a nationwide issue between insurance companies and pharmacies. And because we were under contract with the insurance companies, we couldn't deny selling the drug to the patient. And we would have to take that $50 loss. So, as you can see, that's a horrible business model. And we weren't going to be able to survive in that. It's just like an Uber driver. If it costs him $20 to run his car, but then Uber says, I'm only going to give you 15, he's gonna lose $5 every time he takes somebody in his car. So he's not gonna do that. But I think with those rideshare programs, you can't keep denying people's giving people rides. So many declines, and they're gonna be deactivated. So that was the same situation we were in. We were being forced to give people a product and lose money. So we had to pivot, and we had to pivot fast. This threw such a huge wrench in our plan to dominate the world of pharmacy. We knew we couldn't keep losing money like that, so we ended up terminating our insurance contracts and we transferred out basically all of our regular prescription drug customers. We still had our patients that were getting the compounding meds, but that business was really slow. So this big insurance slap that dramatically affected our income. We basically had no income and a ton of bills, both personal and business wise. We did have a few customers, still coming in, getting their vitamins and stuff and the compounds, but I ended up having a bunch of time on my hands at this point, and this is about 2016 now. So then our compounding company, PCCA, they gave me a free webinar called What You Must Know About Women's Hormones. And it was done by this world renowned hormone specialist, Dr. Pam Smith. So at this point, we have some patients that are getting some hormone replacement that we're compounding. And I got nothing better to do. So I just dive all into this webinar, because the insurance slap basically sat me down. So I watched this presentation, and I didn't know that what I was going to learn was going to it completely changed my life forever. I mean, this lady was telling me things about hormones that I had never learned in pharmacy school. It was blowing my mind. She was showing how women's hormones affected literally every organ in our bodies. She showed how the hormones affect our brain, our gut, our muscles, our bones. She was showing stuff like estrogen decreases Alzheimer's, and progesterone can protect against breast cancer, and how the bladder needs a perfect balance of estrogen and progesterone so women won't keep peeing on themselves. Like, so cool, right? Nobody wants to pee on themselves. So this webinar was probably like 2 hours long, but I took a full week and literally wrote out everything that she said next to the slides she provided. Every word she said was like a golden nugget of information that I was just eating up and drooling over. And I still use those notes to this day. Like, this doctor was telling me how to literally fix the majority of women's health problems, from heart disease, bone health, blood sugar, cholesterol issues, sleep problems, digestion issues, fertility problems, weight problems. I could keep going, but I think you get the point. A woman's health is dramatically affected by her hormones. So basically, if a woman's hormones are trash, then her health will be trash and she'll feel like a hot mess all the time. So I finished the webinar and I'm just hyped up. I've got all this fantastic information about women's hormones right at my disposal. And I'm like, now what? What do I do? Well, I happened to get an invite to come teach about hormones at a local meeting that women in my area were holding. It was being held by our local pelvic floor physical therapist. So I'm like, cool. People wanting to learn about more about pelvic floor and pelvic floor health. Sounds like my kind of crowd. So I was in. I said, I'll come teach about hormones. So I took my week-long set of notes and I condensed it down into a 2-hour presentation called The Truth About Hormones and Their Role in Women's Health. I get to the meeting and I started doing my presentation, and those women were locked in, y'all. They were locked in from start to finish. It was like they were mesmerized. They were hanging on every word I was saying. I saw some of them even getting teary-eyed by what I was teaching. I could see the light bulbs were going off in their heads. These women were finally being given a solution to their health problems. A lot of those women had been struggling for years, going from doctor to doctor, and they still hadn't been helped. In fact, a lot of them were getting worse. So at the end of my presentation, I was allowed to leave a sign up sheet for people to sign up if they wanted to do a paid consultation with me. And 11 out of the 12 women signed up. I was like, what? This many women wanted to consult with me all because I told them the truth about hormones? I had really figured something out. But a lot of women didn't understand that a lot of their symptoms and problems they were experiencing were actually because of their hormones. So I decided to start doing one on one consultations with women to help them with their hormones. And I decided to dive even deeper into this world of natural health. So I got trained in functional medicine. Now, functional medicine is like being a detective for your health. It looks for the real reason you feel sick and it helps fix it. So you're not just covering up symptoms or like giving people a bunch of drugs or just saying, have a surgery and cut it out. Like, no, it's really going to find what's wrong with the person. And then I spent months learning all of this stuff. I mean, I had books from everybody. Isabella Wentz, Dr. Wilson's books. I listened to seminars. I watched documentaries, Hashimoto's documentary, The Truth About Cancer documentary. Spent hours talking and emailing with functional medicine clinical pharmacists that were training doctors all around America. All around, it was so neat because, like, literally, I would be talking to these consultants and they'd be like, I'm going to go talk to a room full of doctors next week and teach this at a conference, but I'm going to give it to you right now. I was like, yeah, score. I don't have to go to a conference to get this. Like, it was really a fun time and a really nerdy time for me. And so I kept consulting with women. And if I had a question about their case, I could call up one of these specialized pharmacists to help with my clients. So I'm learning on the job, on the job training, but that's honestly the best way to learn, right? And so part of me helping my clients was for me to help create them a actual hormone regimen that was just designed for them. I would write out like the exact amount of each hormone they needed: estradiol, estriol, progesterone, DHEA, thyroid hormones. I did it all, but I couldn't just go into our compounding lab and start making this hormone replacement for my clients. So I had to figure out how to get some prescriber, MD, DO, nurse practitioner, physician assistant, any of them to approve these hormone recommendations. So the recommend that would turn my recommendations into a legal prescription because in America the doctor of pharmacy doesn't have prescribing authority. So even though I'm the brains behind the operation, I still have to get that turned into a legal prescription. So this was the dilemma we were running into. But then we had a thought, me and my husband, and we said, what if we just try to get these hormone recommendations approved by each client's own primary care doctor? We tried it, y'all, and it worked. It was a hallelujah moment. We figured out how to get the hormone replacement that we needed for our clients. Now we could finally help the people the way we always wanted to without any restrictions. So as I kept consulting with women and I transformed, y'all. I went from just a regular drugstore pharmacist at Bethel Pharmacy to the thyroid specialist at Bethel Holistic Clinic. This is where we help people discover that your body is a healing machine, that it can turn around, that your life can be wonderful. And that has become our vision and our mission. So, with this vision and mission, we set out to help as many women as we could with their thyroid and hormone issues. We saw women of all ages, all sizes, all ethnicities from different parts of America and different parts of the world. So many women were suffering from completely solvable issues. So, after reviewing case after case, I started seeing trends and patterns for healing. I was like, whoa, to be able to see a clear path of healing for someone who's been struggling with the same issues for literally decades, it became an extreme honor for us and a mandate. For some reason, God had opened our eyes to see this clear, systematic way to help people heal from thyroid and hormone issues. Every case was different, but I saw that the method or the way of healing could be easily replicated as I helped each one of our clients. I never used a one size fits all way of doing things, but I created a set of protocols that can be followed case after case, and I could always get positive outcomes with our clients. I knew we had something special, something unique, something that most traditional doctors were missing. What I could see so clearly as a pathway of healing wasn't just for us to keep to ourselves. We had to share it with everyone that this is what we've discovered. So I put all of the trends and patterns and that I saw into one system and that we could just share with everybody. And that system is what we call the thyroid and hormone root reset system. Are you guys interested to see the system? Yeah. So, what if the reason you still feel awful isn't you? What if it's the vehicle you've been riding in? With our new vehicle, the thyroid and hormone root reset system, it's not another pill. It's not a generic eat less, move more plan. And it's definitely not a 10-minute doctor visit. It's a 30-day program that is a repeatable step by step system that we use with clients to uncover why your symptoms exist and then fix the order of operation so your body can actually heal. Traditionally, most times it's you go to your regular doctor and it's just okay, what's the diagnosis? And then they're going to give you a pill, a prescription pill, or a surgery recommendation. A lot of times I mean, let's just be real. That's a lot of times what happens in the Western medical system. But with our system, it asks, why did this start? And what's keeping it alive? Because when you solve the why, the what stops running the show. So when you use the right plan, the things that felt stuck begin to move. Stubborn weight starts responding, brain fog clears and focus returns, steady energy replaces the crash, sleep deepens, mood steadies, digestion calms, aches ease, so the thyroid and hormone root reset system is a whole body root cause work, not symptom whack-a-mole. You know, whack-a-mole with that arcade game when they pop up and you just randomly pop up and you just hit it. Yeah, it's not. This is not that. So the old traditional medical system vehicle, it sends you to 5 specialists, orders random labs, and it says you're normal, even when you don't feel normal. Our root reset gives you one map, the right labs, and a guided plan so you stop collecting bottles and you start collecting health victories. So if you want a clear path from symptoms to strategies, stay with me. Nod your head or drop a quick yes in the chat because I'm about to walk you through the same steps my clients use to reset their thyroid and hormones one move at a time. So this picture is the whole thyroid and hormone root reset system. I wanted to show you guys that so you could have the visual, so you can see all the different areas that we're covering. And this all is happening during our 30-day program. We don't just look at your labs or just your hormones. We walk through all 12 pillars that are listed on this slide. So feel free to take a screenshot if you want. We're going to cover mindset and stress, targeted testing, medications and hormone replacement, liver support, food, nutrients, antibodies, adrenals, gut healing, infections, and finally, long-term next steps. So in other words, we're not guessing at one little piece. We're systematically checking every major system that can impact your thyroid and hormones. Then we put it together in one clear and in depth plan just for you. So, some other things that you may have tried that the thyroid and hormone root reset system is not. You may have tried a brutal workout or a fad diet that changes nothing. You may have tried a 10-minute office visit with your doctor who really didn't know anything about hormones and ended up with you leaving angry. You may have tried that. You may have tried a grab bag of vitamins that you're guessing on. You could have tried a band aid of prescription drugs that just mask symptoms. Or you could have had an offer of, let's cut it out surgery suggestion. No, no one wants that. Or a one size fits all hormone dosing. I know a lot of you can relate to this kind of stuff, right? It's the healthcare merry-go-round that keeps people spinning, but with no real results or solutions. And then, it's different here. This is completely different. I'm here and I want to help you because I know how much it sucks to be sick. So after 14 years and $171,000 invested between undergrad, grad school, and all of the postgraduate training and education that I've gone through, I've discovered the hard way because you're here today, you're going to get it the easy way. It took my pharmacist brain and a ton of additional studying and research to find the healing strategies to get my clients well. It took many years, but it doesn't have to take you years. You can lean into our healing strategies and experience to create your best life and health. The most painful thing, for me as a healer and empathetic person, is to watch people drowning and not being able to convince them that they can just stand up and heal themselves. So, I want to go over the three secrets of the thyroid and hormone root reset system. Secret number one: the hidden reason your hormones won't balance no matter what you do. Secret number two: you don't need to be an expert to take back your health. And secret number three: how to heal your thyroid and hormones without doctor gatekeeping or insurance hassles. Secret number one: the hidden reason your hormones won't balance no matter what you do. So, let me tell you how I discovered this root cause medicine. So we had our first baby on July 20th, 2016. We were the proudest parents. Like we were, what's that called? Baby moon. We were on a baby moon, y'all. Life was good. I slimmed down right after I had the baby. Like no joke. I had our son on a Wednesday by C-section. A C-section I didn't want because I had a midwife, and then my water broke and I didn't have contractions, so ended up having a C-section. So I had a C-section on the Wednesday. Then on that Monday, I went back to work at Bethel Pharmacy. That was crazy, insane. I wouldn't recommend this. Like, this is like, don't try this at home. Don't do that. But I did it. And so then on that Monday, one of our friends comes in and he says, I can't believe you just had a baby a few days ago. You don't even look like you were pregnant. And this was such a big deal that he said this to me because, like, my whole pregnancy, I kept saying, I have a bounce back body. I have a bounce back body. And so when he said it, my ego was quite happy to hear that my pregnancy affirmations had really come true. So I was going along with my flat stomach and my new baby, and then my belly started to hang. I started to get this pooch. And I was like, what's going on here? I was asking other women about my issue with my belly hanging, and they were like, girl, you're fine. You just had a baby. It's a few months ago. But I was like, no, something's wrong. Because right after when I had the baby, my belly was flat. And now months later, my stomach is hanging in a way that I've never seen it do before. So I did what all good people do. I took to Google and I began to look up postpartum stomach hanging stuff. And I stumbled across pelvic floor physical therapy. And I saw that this type of therapy, it was treating the issue that I was having. So I found a local pelvic floor physical therapist in my town and I made an appointment. So in my first appointment, my PT Megan showed me what the C-section had actually done to my body. It had cut through 6 layers of muscles and nerves, and then it had made my muscles weak, and so it caused them to hang. Then I had a lot of scar tissue that was also making my stomach pooch out. She was showing me so many other things that was wrong with my body that had nothing to do with the typical reasons for someone to have a big belly, like diet and exercise. She was showing me deeper underlying issues that was causing my hanging stomach problem. Deep, like deeper than what would meet the eye. And so this method of finding deeper underlying issues is also known as root cause medicine. And this was also able to help. She was also able to help me see that my mommy hand was actually hand numbness that was coming from my C-section scar. I know y'all like, what? Make it make sense. Okay, I will. Here it is. The C-section scar was actually pulling my body down, and particularly my right shoulder, and it was causing muscles to clamp down on nerves and create numbness in my hand. I had no idea a C-section scar that was down there was going to create a problem down right here, and it's going to radiate down my arm to my hand. And this was truly deep diving, right? It was really investigative. It was going into the root causes. And all of that saved me from years of hand pain and heartache from having a big belly. Because remember, I had an ego. I think I still have, a little bit of ego and some vanity. And so having a big belly was just not going to work with my vanity and my ego. I would like to say I'm better now, but I couldn't have handled it. So as you know, having a pelvic floor physical therapist do that kind of work was such a lifesaver for me, but I was disappointed that my OBGYN that did the surgery, that she didn't actually recommend physical therapy afterward. Or, I mean, I know maybe she wouldn't have known about pelvic floor physical therapy, but at least some type of physical therapy. So that was a lesson for me. Like, I really saw how root cause medicine sometimes can be hidden and it can be hard to find. So the fact that you guys are here now is rare, because it's hard to find people that really understand how to dive deep and get to the root of things. So you're in a special place, guys. And so my physical therapist, Megan, she had gone past the regular on the surface postpartum issues for a pooch stomach. She got to the root of the matter and she found the root cause of my issues and she fixed them. Like, it was really that simple. So y'all can see here, after a few months, my stomach went flat. Root cause medicine works. After my own experience of this deep dive form of medicine, I knew I had to implement this into our practice at Bethel. It completely changed how I handled my cases from then on. I knew I had to look deeper to find what was really causing my clients' symptoms, and I couldn't let their proverbial pooch stomach distract me. So, we created the thyroid and hormone root reset system as a way for me to always be able to find the root causes of our clients' health issues. We wanted our clients to have a straight and easy path of healing they could follow without the runaround of trying to find a bunch of good options that end up failing in the end. Have you been trying a bunch of stuff to get better and it still hasn't worked? You may have what I like to call a leaky bucket. Let me explain. So, one of the nation's leading thyroid experts, Dr. Isabella Wentz, she was diagnosed with hypothyroidism in 2009, and she was given the standard westernized medicine plan: replace the hormones and move on. But, she challenged it. She, and it's funny because she is a pharmacist. And so for her, she was like, meds can help, but as she put it, she felt like she was just pouring hormones into a leaky bucket. She wanted a real fix. And for her, she said the real fix was to seal the leak. So Isabella Wentz went on to say, you have to tackle chronic health problems using a root cause system. Instead of today's more commonly used, give a drug for every symptom someone has. So back to my leaky bucket analogy. So using our system, I would ask the question, why is your body no longer making enough thyroid hormones? And how can we intervene? So if you've cleaned up your diet, hit the gym, tried supplements, and still battle weight gain, fatigue, brain fog, or mood swings, it's not that you're doing it wrong. It's that no one has identified why your system is leaking. Some of the whys could be toxic overload, stress, gut issues, hidden infections, or other autoimmunity triggers. So, this is exactly why we created the thyroid and hormone root reset system, to give people a clear step by step path to uncover and correct the root causes so your hormones finally work for you. Are you ready to see how it seals the leaks? Alrighty. So, the first step: complete the root cause discovery forms. This is where we finally answer the big questions: why is this happening? And what can we do to stop it? And even reverse it. Here we zero in on the triggers that are keeping you unwell. And when those triggers are identified and removed, thyroid and hormone problems can often improve and, in many cases, turn around. So, like a quick example, in celiac disease, which is another autoimmune condition, gluten is known as an environmental trigger. So when you remove gluten, many of those people see their symptoms resolve. So that's the same principle behind the thyroid and hormone root reset system. We identify your triggers, remove them, and then you feel better. So how we find your triggers is simple, but it's powerful. We use the root cause discovery forms. Now these are not basic yes or no checklists, but it's a guided health story that surfaces what was happening right before you started feeling unwell. The stressors, the infections, meds, exposure, life changes, like, we see it all in these forms. So your part is you just complete the discovery forms, plain English questions about your health story. My part is I translate your answers into a focused plan and into the right labs. The results, You get clarity on the cause, a plan that makes sense, and momentum you can actually feel. Step two of this, you're going to order evidence guided lab work. We test what matters most. It's your story, and it's no guesswork and no fishing around. Once you complete the step one health story forms, I turn your history into a clear working model of what's most likely driving your symptoms. From there, I ordered a targeted, personalized lab panel to confirm or rule out these causes. You'll complete the labs at your local lab, and I prioritize what's essential first so you're not over tested. So, unlike many traditional practices that order random or incomplete tests, this step ensures the right labs are ordered for the right reasons. Too often, patients are being told everything is normal simply because the wrong tests were run. That's like having an X-ray of your hand and you came in and saying your foot hurts. Like that's not the right test to order. That's not the right area. So for thyroid issues, a full six panel it's a full six test thyroid panel that's essential. Ordering just one or two tests misses the real problem and it keeps patients sick. So for example, I have this one client and I'll tell y'all more about her later, but her name was Sally Sue for this example. She suffered for years with hypothyroid symptoms, all because her doctors never ran a full thyroid panel. She was wasting thousands of dollars to the tune of $36,000 on unnecessary heart scans just because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. But you'll hear more about her later. So, my point is, it's important to get the right test. So, by starting with the correct forms and labs, you save money, literally thousands of dollars. You avoid years of frustration and you finally uncover the root cause of your symptoms. Is this making sense to y'all? Do you see how this can help you? So, the thyroid and hormone root reset system has this guided lab work. And so that means for you, you're going to get your story in a focused, testable plan. You're getting high yield labs that you can do locally. So it's easy scheduling. And you have prioritized testing, what to do now versus what you do later. In step three, this is a comprehensive review of your health story. And this is a true consultation. It's not a rush 10-minute visit. We go in. We sit together for a full 90 minutes, and this is where I connect the dots between your story, your symptoms, and the biology that drives them. What we'll be doing together is reviewing your forms in detail, walking through your health timeline, your major life events, medications, surgeries, exposures, sleep, stress, nutrition, and symptom patterns. And I'm linking your story to your biology and your symptoms. You'll see exactly why certain systems are under strain and how that produces the way you feel, whether it's your energy issues, sleep, mood, weight, brain fog, all of that. All this, you'll be able to see the connection. And then I'm going to map the likely root causes. And this is what moves us into step four. So in step four, this is a deep review. Excuse me, we're going to do deep review, detox, stress, gut, and hormones. And this is all going on in the 90-minute weekly consulting program that happens over the 30-day program. So in this isn't a quick glance at hormone levels. We're performing an in-depth evaluation of four systems that most influence hormonal symptoms and issues. So this detox system, are your liver bile elimination pathways, are they clearing out hormones and environmental toxins efficiently, or are you all backed up? The stress response. Is it your cortisol spiking at night? Is it flat in the morning? Is that just driving the belly fat or sleep disruption? We're going to dive deep and look. Then your gut integrity and your microbiome. Is the gut lining leaky or inflamed? Are you able to recycle estrogen properly? Like all these things. We're looking at it all. Hormonal balance. We're going to see how thyroid and sex hormones are signaling, whether symptoms are truly hormonal or they're being pushed by stress, toxins, or the gut. Because some people will come in and actually they'll have symptoms that look like, hormonal imbalance, but then it's really they just need a detox and then their hormones are going to work much better. So now let me ask you, if you finally understood exactly which of these systems is driving your symptoms, wouldn't it be easier to fix them? So, why this matters? you can feel well. You can't, this matters because you can't feel well if toxins are piling up, if you're super stressed, and if your gut barrier is compromised. If you have a leaky gut, you're not going to feel well. And if your hormones are out of sync. So when we find the real root causes, we can calm the hot flashes, improve sleep and energy, steady your mood, and make weight easy to come off without the guesswork. So you'll leave step 4 with a clear map of priorities: what's driving your symptoms, what we'll address first for the biggest relief, and how each system supports the next so your body can rebalance the way it's designed. And if you had that kind of clarity, no more guessing, no more trying random health tips you find online, wouldn't that feel like a huge relief? Yeah, I would say so. So, step 5 is a comprehensive review of your test results. And this is still done during the 90-minute weekly consulting we're doing over the 30 days. So in this step, we're doing a deep dive lab analysis. That was one of the things that when I was giving y'all my credentials is that I'm a functional medicine lab test analyst. So here we take a deep dive into your lab results. I walk you through them in plain English, what each marker means and how you compare it to an optimal value, not just normal ranges, and how the findings shape your next steps. If you finally understood your labs in a way that actually made sense, wouldn't that give you more confidence about what to do next? Yeah. And here's the key difference: most doctors only look at whether your labs fall inside the lab's broad normal range, but normal is not the same as optimal. The optimal range is a lot of time a lot more narrow than the broad, wide range, right? Symptoms almost always show up when results are outside of that optimal range, not just the normal range. So that's why terms like low normal or high normal are misleading. There's only one goal: finding the optimal range where you feel your best. So let's go back to Jane Bloggs, the client I told you about in the beginning. She had been told for years that her labs were normal, but during this step, I noticed that one of her values was 10.4 instead of the optimal 10.1. That subtle difference of just zero point 0.3 was the warning sign her other doctors missed. Had we not caught it, Jane could have suffered a massive bone loss, a heart attack, a stroke, kidney failure, or even death. This thorough analysis literally saved her life. And during our session, I'll also connect your health story with your lab results. For instance, if your lab show that your high blood sugar, your lab show you that you have high blood sugar, high cholesterol, and low thyroid hormones, but you already eat clean and you exercise 6 days a week. So we can identify that it's not your habits that are causing the high blood sugar and high cholesterol, but it's your low thyroid function that's slowing down your metabolism. Step 5 is where the dots connect. It's where your story and your labs finally make sense and where answers that were often overlooked for years start to emerge. And if your labs finally told you the truth about what's really going on, wouldn't that be worth discovering now rather than continuing to guess? Mm-hmm. So, step 6 is the next level care plan. For most people, detoxing safely, calming the stress response, healing the gut, and balancing hormones is enough to resolve the majority of their symptoms. But some individuals do need a deeper level of care. So that's why we offer the next level care plan. So in step 4, we go beyond the basics. No, this is step 6. I was like, here in step 6, we go beyond the basics and we search for lingering root causes that can still be draining your health, like hidden mercury from old dental fillings. Maybe those could be disrupting your system. Is there small intestinal bacterial overgrowth like SIBO, or perhaps a chronic underlying infection like Epstein-Barr, like the monovirus that was just never fully cleared out? So this is the step where we're going that extra mile, identifying and addressing those deeper and harder to find issues so we can finally seal the leaks in your bucket and restore your body to balance. Now, here is another client. Oh, the client case I alluded to earlier, Sally Sue. So she had $18,000 scans, no answers, but in 7 days she had big results. This is why her case really shows why testing right beats testing more. So her little backstory on her. So I had gone on a local TV show in our area and, sharing with the interviewer like how we chase root causes instead of symptoms. And then the next morning a woman called Sally Sue called and she said she had saw the interview. And so her issues that she had been having, she really hit a wall, y'all. She was in her early 50s. She had years of heart palpitations, crushing fatigue, brain fog, fluid retention, gut pain, hair and skin changes. She had gone through the specialist carousel herself, cardiologist, pulmonologist, PCP, gyno, ER doctors, you name it. Like she was in bad shape. She could barely walk from her car to inside of our office. She was that short of breath. She couldn't even walk around Walmart anymore, and she definitely couldn't walk and carry her purse at the same time. Because as women, we tend to have heavy purses. She just couldn't do it anymore. She was too weak and too short of breath. She had done MRI, CT scans, 24-hour cortisol, multiple $18,000 heart scans. Everyone said normal. You're normal enough. You're low normal. You're high normal. But she felt anything but normal. See, it wasn't that Sally Sue hadn't tried hard enough, is that she was stuck in the wrong vehicle. Random tests and band-aid prescription drugs. That she was in that vehicle or that cycle. So here's our belief here at Bethel. When you ask why first and test right, you finally see what to fix. So we tested right with Sally Sue. We ran targeted labs that were mapped to her symptoms, not guesses, full thyroid panel, hormone and adrenal markers, autoimmune inflammatory screens, metabolic and nutrient status. And this is what showed up, what you see on your slides. She ended up having Hashimoto's thyroiditis. She had high thyroid antibodies. So that meant her body was attacking her own thyroid gland and destroying it, which was lowering her thyroid function. And she tested positive for ANAs, which is just another marker for autoimmune diseases. She had the low thyroid, progesterone, estradiol, DHEA, cortisol. She was high in insulin, triglycerides. She had nutrient deficiencies. So it wasn't that they when they say, oh, it's all in your head or you're just aging. No, it was none of that. It wasn't in her head. It wasn't because she was in her 50s. It was actually that she had fixable, measurable problems that just had never been discovered. So some of her first wins in the 7 days after she started following the plan, right? She's doing what I'm telling her to do. It was huge, y'all. She started sweating again. And, I don't know if you guys, understand how important sweating is, but when you're somebody who's not sweating, then a lot of times that person will be they have toxic overload because sweat is one of the ways that toxins come out. So she started sweating, huge. Her detox pathways were waking up. She could walk and do an errand carrying her own purse, and she went from taking only 300 steps a day to now taking 1,720 steps a day. She had a clearer head and she had a huge surge of energy. Like she went to Home Depot. She was trying to renovate the bathroom at home. Like she was a go getter, y'all. And her heart palpitations, those settled. No more what if scans. The same woman she was, but she had a new vehicle and she had these first week wins to prove it. Can you picture yourself getting a similar outcome if you follow our steps? Does this sound like something you can do? So her transformation was huge. I mean, once we plugged the leaks to that leaky bucket, with detox, resolving stress issues, gut, and replacing hormones, her body finally had permission to heal. This wasn't luck, you guys. It was a system, a proven system. And so, for her, she's the same woman, new vehicle. So if you're thinking, I've tried everything, it's not you, it's the vehicle you're in. The thyroid and hormone root reset system is the same framework I used with Sally Sue. So you can see exactly how to find your leaks and start sealing them. And if you could finally use a vehicle that actually gets you where you want to go, would you be open to that? Yeah, I would. So, the secret recap of secret number one: the hidden reason your hormones won't balance no matter what you do. The number one reason your thyroid and other hormones won't balance, even when you're doing everything right, is a leaky bucket. Until you plug the holes, every diet, supplement, and workout drains away. Does this help you understand what's been missing? The thyroid and hormone root reset system seals those leaks so your body can finally respond. Let's go back over those simple steps of the thyroid and hormone root reset system. Basically, you're going to complete forms and lab work. You're going to talk through your health story and test results. We're going to take a closer look at your detox system, stress response, and gut health. And then you're going to have an option for a next level care plan if it's needed. Secret number two, you don't need to be an expert to take back your health. This is because the thyroid and hormone root reset system is a fully guided concierge program that handles the heavy lifting so your results finally stick. It's a white glove, all inclusive program. The weird metric, that I realized that predicted my client's success, it wasn't a lab number. It was how often they popped into our pharmacy. That's when I realized information is not enough to produce transformation, but proximity is power. After I discovered how badly women needed real help with hormones, I started consulting, one on one. But we were still open as Bethel Pharmacy. And so, people are coming in for their prescriptions or supplements or, so our hormone clients could just swing by and, ask pretty much every other day their questions. They would have, quick tweaks, quick questions. Am I doing this right? Moments. But it was the same plan, the same protocols, but now we were getting different outcomes. The women who checked in more consistently, they were improving faster. The ones that were trying to DIY between our office visits, those were the ones that were getting stuck. And it wasn't because they were lazy, it's just because life is loud. They got brain fog, they got fatigue, they having to read all these labels, trying to decide if this is the right product to eat or drink, trying to detox their environment. So every day for them felt like a pop quiz. So inside, I started thinking, like, I've given them this map. Why isn't the map enough? Then it hit me. The plan isn't enough. The plan isn't the problem. It's the distance between me and them. What transforms people isn't more info, it's being side by side, removing all the friction, and making the right choice the easy way. So I rebuilt the experience. So now it's a done for you map. It's step by step, it's planned, and it's tailored to your labs and story. And it's done with you it's done with you support. I'm right there. Questions answered, course corrections made, no guessing. It's completely friction free. Instead of me sending all these exhausted women to decipher labels, we curated the essentials, the food basics, meal kits delivered to the house, toothpaste, deodorant, the daily use items. So now detoxing wasn't another full time job. So transition, translation. 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 They didn't just get a protocol, they got me, and they got the heavy lifting handled. Once we closed the distance between me and the clients, those wins were stacking. Faster clarity, better adherence, fewer stuck moments for our clients. It was the same women, same goals, now this new vehicle. And that's when the pharmacy hat faded and the thyroid and hormone root reset system identity really clicked into place. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how this works. And you can see how easy it is to plug into this same concierge heavy lifting system. So you're never on your own, never reading labels at midnight, and never wondering, am I doing this right? Because the problem's never been you. It was the distance between you and the right next step. Are you ready to close that distance? So, first, step one, I build your personalized secrets, the right move at the right moment. So, relief sticks. It's tuned to your phase, whether you're perimenopause, postmenopause, whatever pause you're in, we got you. And it's going to create steady shifts that smooth the swings. So, your job is simple. All you have to do is the next step, then the next, and watch the improvements roll in. Every step is evidence backed and measurable. We track what's working, adjust what isn't, and we keep you moving forward. So, what the plan targets is going to be detox done safely, calming the stress response, sealing and healing the gut lining, balancing the hormones the way your body naturally does. And then we're going to optimize this plan through having it prioritized for you. And it's a root cause prioritization for faster, steadier relief. It is delivered with concierge care. You get the roadmap, the what, when, why, and we handle the details so you're never guessing. I take everything you've shared with the history, the symptoms, the labs, and I turn it into a clear step by step path to get you feeling like you again. If I gave you a plan to balance your hormones so you can get back to feeling like yourself again, would that be useful? So, the whole thyroid and hormone root reset system, this is what's going to be addressed in that plan. This is what we're going to do over those that during that 30-day program. And step two, these are the daily supports done right, delivered to you. Let me show you the engine that drives your results. It's the Root Reset Core Kit. This isn't just another basket of random bottles. This is the clinician built core of your plan that covers you for the next 30 days. In this kit, you're going to get the exact nutrients you need, and if appropriate, the body identical or bioidentical hormones you need. And it's going to be dosed to mirror your how your body is designed to signal. Plus, you get natural compounded therapies that can gently support immune balance, calm inflammation, and accelerate healing. And if you had a single structured system instead of piecing everything together on your own, would that make this whole healing journey feel a lot more doable? hmm So, what's inside this wonderful kit? You're getting targeted vitamins and minerals. It's going to close that gap, right? Um, so now you're going to be able to sleep better, mood better, all the things. Then you're going to get the body identical hormone replacement precisely dosed for you, the right form and the right route. So you can feel balanced and you won't feel spiked. You're going to get naturally compounded therapies, gentle pharmacy crafted formulas designed to help your body to heal. And this kit is so different. Like most women are forced to piece together things, one prescription here or supplement there, hoping it works. But with this core kit, we orchestrate it all for you. Exact doses, exact brands, morning and evening timing mapped to your story, your labs, and it's pharmaceutical grade, carefully screened, third party tested, and integrated so ingredients play well together. No lab decoder ring required. And how it works with your plan. When we've reviewed your history and your labs, we set your starting doses and timing, including food pairing if you take it with or without food, start and stop rules, and you follow the simple card that comes in your box. We check in and we track your victories and your health and your great health outcomes, and then we fine tune it until the plan fits you like a glove. So, what you can expect is a calmer system, a clearer head, steadier energy, better sleep, and a metabolism that finally starts to cooperate because your signals are coordinated now and they're not competing. So, bottom line, the Root Reset Core Kit is done for you. It turns your plan into action safely, clearly, and in the right order. So your effort finally becomes results. And if having a done for you foundation is what finally gets you the results you've been chasing for years, doesn't it make sense to get our kit designed to deliver exactly that? Yeah, it makes total sense. So step three is the concierge care kit. It's the clinician curated essentials to power your plan. This step has to be the easiest one yet. Then step three, you will receive everything that you need to complete the guided healing plan from step one and the supportive therapy that goes with step two. And if having every single item you need delivered and ready to go, if it would that make your healing process effortless? Wouldn't it remove a lot of stress for you? Well, inside this curated essentials kit is everything that you need, and it's screened to be low toxin and clean as possible. No hormone disrupting fragrances, no harsh chemicals, no junk your liver has to fight. From protein shakes and meal kit delivery services to deodorant, soap, lotion, toothpaste, toothbrush, non toxic home cleaners, and even the beloved squatty potty. Every item is chosen because it's safe, gentle on your body, and effective for your healing plan. This is the kit that makes your plan effortless. We're removing all the guesswork so you can focus on feeling better. I match clean, low toxin daily essentials to your plan and we ship them to your door. No label decoding, no aisle surfing, No shopping, just a simple routine that supports healing. And what you'll get during the 30 days of the program is the curated essentials. These aren't, there's no pills here. It's protein shakes, meal kit delivery services, the deodorant, soap, lotion, all those personal care products, it's even the squatty potty. You're getting when to take what and then what time of day to do it. The start and stop rules, the safety and sensitivities checks that were already done. You're going to get easy refills and check ins. So, the bottom line is you don't have to figure this out solo. We design the plan, curate the essentials, and walk you through step by step so your everyday habits start working for your hormones, your gut, your liver, your sleep, and stress, and not against them. And if all of your essentials were handed over to you and you didn't have to guess or shop, wouldn't that make it a lot easier for you and actually make it easy for you to get the results you want? Hmm. So, step four is your weekly momentum consulting. This is where small adjustments make big progress. Here, we're fine tuning your protocol based on real time results. We are adjusting doses, we're removing roadblocks, and we're lining up your next best action steps. So, every week during our 30-day program, I keep you on track with the step by step plan I designed for you so you're never overwhelmed. Doesn't this sound lovely? Like when we're focusing on your detox support, calming your stress response, repairing your gut, or replacing your hormones, I'm right beside you to educate, instruct, correct, tweak, and encourage you. So any questions that pop up as you work the plan get answered in our weekly meeting. My job is to be your steady guide so you reach your health goals confident, strong, and happy. So, here's another story that was really interesting because she was a teacher who she worked in America, but then she got called to go work overseas into the Middle East. And I'm going to call her Patty. And the moment that she scanned her boarding pass off to the Middle East, I realized my plan, no matter how good it was, it would fail unless I made it a done for you program. So, as you saw in secret number one, where I build a precise step by step plan for everyone, it worked as long as I was nearby to remove the friction. But now I'm not going to be nearby. And then my client, she takes the job overseas. And so it's a new language, new foods, 12-hour days for her, jet lag. She's had zero time to read labels. She was asking, well, which toothpaste do I use? Which protein? How do I get the right hormones here? And that's when I realized I got to cut out all the confusion, all these questions for her. Like if she was going to have wins in a foreign country with a brutal schedule that she had, I had to have a plan with everything that came pre-assembled. Not do this, but here it is. Like not good luck, but we've handled it for you. And so I upgraded the thyroid and hormone root reset system into a concierge done for you system with the personalized dosing card, the hormones that are coordinated with the prescriber, the hormones that are matching the labs, a curated essentials kit, vitamins, clean foods, all of that. We had to put it all together. And we shipped it to her. And so we did our weekly meetings through video chats. And that's how we would check in. So week one, she's overseas. She's got long classes. She's got culture shock, but she had zero guesswork. She opened the box and realized all she had to do was follow the steps. No guessing, no Googling. Within weeks, she reported lighter and less puffiness. Her bloating was down. Her digestion was smoother. She was sleeping deeper, and her energy steadied. She enjoyed teaching again, and on the weekend, she actually got to explore the new city because she had energy to do it. So her schedule didn't change, her country did change, but the vehicle had changed for her. That's when I knew the reset must be white glove. It's got to be white glove with all the plan and supplies so life can't knock you off course. So that's why we supply the Root Reset Core Kit and the Concierge Care Kit and do the weekly calibrations. We map it, we ship it, we walk it with you. So your effort finally turns into outcomes. Do you see how this approach would have helped you 6 months ago? Yep. So a recap of secret number two. You do not have to become a health guru and hormone expert to fix your thyroid and balance your hormones because we do everything for you. So, secret number three of the thyroid and hormone root reset system: how to heal your thyroid and hormones without doctor gatekeeping or insurance hassles. So, you are now liberated from short visits, long waits, and non answers. The thyroid and hormone root reset gives you a concierge root cause path that you can start today. You've done the short visits, you've done the your labs are normal, you've done the referrals that take months, and the insurance approvals that finally land, and treatments that don't fix the why. This system liberates you from all of that. No more gatekeeping, no guesswork. Just a personalized, expert guided plan that addresses the root causes and moves you forward. So, to my rude awakening, oh man, it was so sad. When we opened our pharmacy in 2015, I believed healthcare was a team sport. Like that was what they taught us in pharmacy school. We would like in school, I would sit at a round table with nurses, doctors, dietitians, and and the pharmacists, and we would build a plan for each patient for them to get well. And it was beautiful. It was coordinated. Everybody was listening to everyone else's expert opinion. It was truly an interdisciplinary approach. But then I graduated and ran headfirst into the real world where it's like me on the picture. Can I help your patients with their thyroid and hormones? And I was getting the big no. So I discovered the team huddle that I had learned in pharmacy school. It had been replaced by gatekeepers and 5-minute drive-by office visits. Like even for me, like as a clinician going into the doctor's office, me and my husband would go in and we just wanted 5 minutes with the doctor just to tell him about all the great ways we could help their patient population. But we were told we had to buy the whole clinic lunch. Meanwhile, our clients with their thyroid and hormone issues were stuck in 10-minute office visits, bouncing from specialist to specialist, waiting months for appointments, and then waiting again for insurance approvals that often didn't fix the root causes. Like, so me and Aaron were like, we are wasting time doing this, trying to go to the doctors this way. But does any of that sound familiar for y'all? All of that runaround, your labs are normal, let's watch and wait, another referral, another delay, another copay, and still no answer to why you feel the way you do. So one day it clicked for Aaron and I. We don't need to sell a concept to a clinic. We just needed to serve one patient deeply and let the results do the convincing. So we went from trying to convince the doctor to we we changed into just building a complete patient first plan and submitting it for approval as part of their healthcare team. So I built the thyroid and hormone root reset as a concierge done for you system, and here's what changed. So we start with your story, and then we design a prescriber ready protocol, and that includes the hormone replacement, and it's aligned to your biology, the dosing, and all of that. And now I'm coordinating it with your primary care or your licensed prescriber for the sign off that I need to make it into a prescription. So you get the plan, you're getting the supplies shipped to you, plus the weekly calibrations, so you're never on your own, and the doctor coordination. So now for Aaron and I, we were no longer cold pitching clinics to be able to service their whole patient population. Now I was able to present a personalized, evidence guided plan for each one of my clients to their own specific doctor. So the doctor's tone shifted from convince me, feed me, to thank you for the clarity. And so across the country, physicians are saying yes. It's easy for me to just send a fax to a doctor saying, "Hey, I'm Dr. Jessica Conwin, PharmD. We have a mutual client, Miss, Mary Smith, and these are the recommendations that I think are best for her. Can you consider them? And if you approve them, just sign here." That's so much easier for doctors to sign off on because the plan is specific, it's safe, and it makes clinical sense for my specific client, which is their mutual patient. So for you, it means no more trying to decode supplements at night, no more living between referrals, no more waiting months just to be told to watch and wait. Here, you're getting one coordinated system, right labs, right plan, right support, and going right to your doctor. So your efforts finally become outcomes. So that's the moment we realized we don't need to buy any more lunches. And we started changing lives. In a bit, I'm going to walk you through exactly how we personalize your plan and how we loop in your prescriber in. So, step one, it's simple and actionable. You confirm your doctor, we package your personalized protocol, and my team sends it to your doctor for quick approval. So you're not stuck in referral limbo. And here's how we make it simple: taking your labs and calculating your physiologic individualized dosing, knowing exactly how much of each hormone your body likely needs. Then I prepare a prescriber ready order with your name, doses, timing, and route. Your physician reviews it and signs off. Once approved, we fulfill it and walk you we fill it and walk you through exactly when and how to use it. One clear plan coordinated with your doctor. No guesswork on your end. And that prescriber ready sheet is actually what's on your slide. That's literally what it will look like. So super easy. Name on top, doctor's name on bottom. Just sign it. Can you imagine not having to argue and convince your doctor about trying something new? Be so nice. So, and then also in step one, this clinician coordination that's happening here, to make the approvals more effortless for your doctor, we attach a multi-page clinical brief for every prescription recommendation. And that's an example of it on your slide there. It includes a concise case summary, the reasoning behind each hormone, your key labs with your optimal targets, dosing calculations, evidence citations, and a safety review for interactions and contraindications. And I'll also outline a monitoring plan, what to recheck, when, and the goal ranges. So we make it really hard for the doctor to say no, y'all, because it's literally just being delivered to their lap when you have the evidence base and it's coming from the doctor or pharmacy. Then this is what they're used to, because it's really that's how you see it in the hospital settings. In clinical settings, there's a coordination between multiple providers. So I'm just bringing them back to that, bringing them back to the table. So instead of hunting for information, your doctor has everything needed to confidently approve our fine-tuned plan. And they can do it in literally minutes. As long as your doctor is willing to read, it's just super easy for them. The result is faster approvals, safer care, and you starting sooner with everyone on the same page. And if your doctor had every detail prepared for them in one place, wouldn't it make it easier for approvals to move a whole lot faster? Mm-hmm. So, step two, here's how we fast track clarity. This is direct access labs, fast answers, no gatekeeping. Instead of waiting on a doctor to submit lab orders, we use direct to consumer labs. I design a targeted panel based on your own history, and then we schedule a quick blood draw at a nearby center to you. No referrals, no delays. So, what this means for you: speed. We are collapsing time here, people. You book in days, not weeks of back and forth. There's control and transparency. You see what we're testing, why, and with clear upfront pricing. You have precision. We order only the labs that answer the right questions. You have a clear explanation. When results come in, I walk you through them in English, plain English, and I compare them to optimal ranges, not just normal. And then, yes, if you do need hormone replacement, we got that and we coordinate it with your doctor. But for the lab work itself, you're not stuck in the insurance approval maze or waiting on prior authorizations that can take weeks. So, a quick show of hands or drop labs in the chat. Who's ever waited forever for an approval only to learn it didn't solve the problem? This step removes that barrier so we can move from questions to answers and we can do it fast. So, step three, you have priority access to your hormone expert. You skip the months long queue. Here's how most people get stuck in the traditional system. First, you book with your PCP, then you wait. If they agree you need a specialist, you wait again for the referral. Then insurance gets involved. More forms, more approvals, more waiting. By the time you finally see the specialist, it can be 3 to 6 months later. and you still don't have a plan. Aren't you sick of this runaround? Our system flips that script. You don't need to fight for a referral. You don't need insurance pre approval just to talk to a hormone expert. You book directly with me, and we schedule your deep dive typically in days, not months. So, what that means for you: direct access to expertise, no primary care doctor gatekeeping just to get in the door, fast scheduling. You get substance, not speed dating. You have a full 90-minute review that connects your story, your labs, your symptoms into one clear plan. You have coordination when you want it. If prescriptions are indicated, we'll walk your clinician through for the sign off without slowing down your progress. So, the bottom line: instead of waiting for permission to start, you start with a plan that targets the root cause. Wouldn't you like to skip the referral maze and start getting expert guidance right away rather than be in another 6 months of limbo? Well, awesome. Then this step was built just for you. So, step four: invest in your reset. You can use a health savings account, flexible spending account. You use your pre tax dollars or flexible financing to fund your reset. So, many of you guys already know this, but traditional insurance rarely reimburses for natural or functional medicine care. The very work we do, the the getting to the why, they don't cover it. But there's a smart, compliant path that most people will overlook, and it's using your pre-tax health dollars. We welcome the health savings account and flexible spending account funds. And if your plan issues you a benefits debit card, those are often called Benny cards. We take those as well. So, what does this mean? Is that you can invest those pre tax dollars into your thyroid and hormone root reset, often for the consults, the eligible labs, and specific health items without waiting on insurance prior authorizations. And we even provide the itemized statements in a letter of medical necessity template if your health savings account or flexible spending account requires it. So everything stays clean and compliant. But for many of our clients, this significantly has lowered their out of pocket investment. So prior to so if you prefer to have an investment that you can make over time, we also accept Care Credit, which is a healthcare financing card. So you can choose a timeline that fits your budget and still move forward now. So bottom line, clear, flexible ways to invest in the life you want with no months long approval slowing your start. Are you starting to see how this could work for you personally? So, if you just did what we discussed in these three secrets, do you think you could be successful in balancing your hormones and finally feeling normal again? So, those a recap of the three secrets. The hidden reason your hormones won't balance no matter what you do. Secret number two: you don't need to be a guru to take back your health. And secret number three: how to heal your thyroid and hormones without doctor gatekeeping or insurance hassles. So let me ask you a question. Is it okay if I walk you through a special offer we created for you that helps you implement everything we covered today without waiting on doctors or insurance? Okay, cool. So let me dive in. Here's what you're going to get when you invest in yourself today: the Thyroid and Hormone Root Reset Consulting. This is our 30-day program with weekly consulting so you stay on track. And we created the Thyroid and Hormone Root Reset Consulting really because we needed a robust and highly detailed consulting method to help our clients. As you guys have seen through some of these patient cases, we see the sickest of the sickest. We see those who've been to 5 different doctors, they've traveled across state lines seeking for help. Some have even gone to the Mayo Clinic. Like, basically, most of our clients come to us feeling like their body is completely falling apart and they feel like a hot mess. And we welcome them with open arms. Some ladies have even said, "Oh my gosh, Dr. Jessica, I'm sure you haven't heard anything like this before," when they're sharing their health story. And I can only chuckle. I'm so used to women coming in to me feeling like their body isn't cooperating with them anymore that it's really just become my normal when I'm seeing clients. Like, take for instance the depressed counselor. She was a client. And for this example, I'm just going to call her the depressed counselor. or we can call her DC for short. But she was taking strikingly high amounts of antidepressants, a sleep aid, antipsychotic, and anti seizure med. She was doing all of this, and it was higher than recommended amounts. So at this point, as a pharmacist, I had never seen a drug regimen like that. It blew my mind. I saw the drugs she was on, and I was thinking, this lady must be crazy and unstable. And if y'all would have seen the drugs she was on, y'all would have thought the same thing. But after chatting with her, I learned that without all those psych drugs, she was in fact crazy and unstable. She was unable to manage her life. Her mental health was so bad that it had a negative impact on her marriage and her kids. In fact, without all of those meds, she couldn't function in her day to day life because the depression was really that bad. She even had to self treat with alcohol 3 times a week to calm her emotions, even while taking all those psych meds. So to be a mental health specialist and to suffer from severe depression for years, it was embarrassing and frustrating for her. She knew how to fix depression without the use of drugs when it came to other people's lives, but why couldn't she figure out how to get rid of her own depression? How could a counselor be this severely depressed that she has to drink throughout the week and take high dose psych meds? So I started consulting with her, and I learned she had gone to so many different doctors, even traveling to different cities to try to get the depression fixed and all her other symptoms fixed. All those doctors had ordered lab work to see why she was depressed, and she was always told that her lab work was normal. Thyroid was normal, her vitamin levels were normal, everything was normal, except her life. None of the doctors that she had seen could ever give her an explanation as to why she was so depressed. This was so confusing and annoying for her. How could all of her lab work be normal and she still be depressed? Does this sound familiar to y'all? Her doctors would tell her that her symptoms were normal for her old age and for her being in menopause. She definitely didn't feel like normal, but she was being told by her doctors that, everything was fine. And because her depression was that bad, she just had to keep taking the prescription drugs, all those psych drugs. It was really the only option she had to be able to manage her life. So I started performing what we now call the thyroid and hormone root reset consulting, and I discovered something that was really unbelievable. Like she ate clean, she ate organic, healthy food and avoided junk food. She still had a lot of symptoms though, on top of the severe depression. Like she was severely fatigued. Like if I remember correctly, she had to drink like almost a pot of coffee throughout 24 hours just to stay awake. She had difficulty falling asleep, even though she was on a sleep med. She had sexual dysfunction, vaginal dryness, dry skin and hair, fluid retention, stress, cold body temperature, severe constipation, brittle breaking nails, acne, weight gain, thinning hair, or thinning skin. In her medical history, she had had to have a complete hysterectomy because she bled heavy for her menstrual cycle, like to where she had clots. She turned into a complete monster during her menstrual cycle because of all the PMS, the premenstrual syndrome, and that went on for 39 years. So after 39 years of dealing with all of that, then they recommended for her to have the complete hysterectomy. She'd even had a miscarriage, y'all. She had had other medical conditions. Well, not her other medical condition was irritable bowel syndrome. So she had tried certain drugs, prescriptions, over the counters. She had tried diets. She was still so symptomatic. So I took her health story and I used it to order the right blood and saliva lab tests. So here's some of the important things that I saw from her lab work. She had extremely low thyroid function. She had low nutrient levels. So this is why she was so terribly depressed for all of these years. She didn't have enough thyroid hormones or nutrients to support her brain and her mood. And her body was literally in self destruct mode and it was destroying her thyroid gland due to her thyroid autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. All of her symptoms, the severe depression, the heavy menstrual bleeding, the miscarriage, the irritable bowel syndrome, could all be explained by her low thyroid hormones. But she had always been told her thyroid was normal. Is it reasonable to say the right labs beat having more labs? It's very reasonable. This woman had lived for literally decades with symptoms that were completely avoidable. She could have avoided having hysterectomy. She could have avoided having a miscarriage. She could have avoided having to deal with irritable bowel syndrome if someone had just taken the time to find the root cause of her issues. And so I had figured it out. I had found the root causes of her issues. At almost 60 years old, she found the answer to her lifelong medical problems. Is this the kind of guidance you wish you had had earlier? I was the only one who ordered the right lab tests and interpreted them correctly out of all her doctors she had been seeing for decades. So I put together a plan of action to fix the root causes. So after 30 days of working with us, she had improved energy levels. So now she was able to command her job position as a high-paid, successful career woman. Who managed 5 different offices, and she traveled all over our state. Plus, she had her own business. She was better able to enjoy her great marriage and her great kids and her financial success. The depression decreased significantly, so much so that she was able to dramatically reduce her psych meds. She had improved sleep and she was more mentally alert. Can you picture yourself feeling this good in just a few weeks? I realize now that we had the knowledge to find and fix the root causes of hormonal issues. And now that we had this information, I knew I had to do something to create a system that we could use on anyone who came to us, no matter how difficult their case, no matter how many years they suffered, and no matter how many doctors they had seen. We needed a method of consulting that could see through our clients' symptoms and find their answers of healing. So we created this repeatable system of the thyroid and hormone root reset consulting. So, what our clients get with the thyroid and hormone root reset consulting, you get a 90-minute one on one consult each week. The deep dives, not the drive bys. We're reviewing your victories, removing roadblocks, and then we're going to adjust your plan in real time. And you get me, an expert thyroid and hormone specialist at your disposal. I'm consulting with you and your doctor so everyone is moving in the right direction. You're getting a compounding pharmacist, a doctor of pharmacy on your side. That means dosing that matches your physiology, safety checks, and no more guesswork. You're getting dietary consulting that's doable. What to eat, what to avoid, and how to make it realistic in your actual life. You're getting access to functional medicine labs and assessments. You things that you can't get in a standard 10-minute office visit with your doctor. So we pinpoint why you feel this way. We're running targeted labs, not just everything but the kitchen sink labs. You're getting it targeted for you. You're getting concierge care, consistent guidance, and strategic adjustments. You're never on your own. We steer you. We're moving you. We're helping you to move in the right direction. And that momentum is just keeps building. You get natural, safe treatments that are often more effective than prescription drugs. And it's being selected for your body. So, the bottom line, this is a guided, evidence based partnership to move you from symptoms to strategy, from normal labs to a life that actually feels normal. Does this feel like the support you've been missing? If you want the shortest path from confusion to clarity, then this is it. You'll be able to have a reduction of your symptoms. You can take charge of your own health. You'll be able to be more resilient so that you can face life's health challenges and take back your power. No more guessing, no more runarounds, no more delays, no more unpleasant side effects or interactions. You'll be able to have the best way to actually utilize your doctor, even if he or she is not trained in natural or functional medicine, even if they don't know about hormones, you're going to be able to utilize them the best because they are prescribers, they have prescribing authority. Me, I become the brains of the operation, and then they are being utilized their best as the one who has prescribing authority, and they're able just to sign off on all of my hard work. That's just the easiest way to say it. And you'll be able to reduce your dependency on doctors. And what you'll be able to replace doctors who don't know anything about hormones. You'll be able to replace dietitian, trial and error diets, prescription drugs that aren't working, dangerous hormone replacements, surgeries. Get try what are these called? Like I put weed on here because it's like weed has become the cure all. You'll be able to stop taking things that are known as the cure all and actually get the true cure all. You'll be able to replace random supplements and so much more. So what our clients used to have to do before using us was they had to, a lot of them have gone to five or more doctors. They've been on 5 or 10 different prescription drugs. They've tried 8 different diets a year, fitness trainers and gym memberships with no results. And some of them have even tried harmful chelating agents to detox. Now, our clients have been able to save a ton of money with working with us, time and money. Like one client spent over $10,000 in medical bills due to having to go to the ER so often. Then we had the other client, Sally Sue, with she spent up to $36,000 on heart scans over an 18-month period. Like most of the women that we help are actually in their 50s and 60s, and so many of them can trace their symptoms all the way back to being teenagers. Decades of you're fine, decades of trial and error, decades of missing out. Like, be honest. How long has it been since you consistently felt clear, steady, and actually like yourself? Yeah, that's a cost to you. That's costing you something. And here's what our clients tell us after they started working with us. They say, "Oh my gosh, I stopped having to buy random supplements that never fit my labs. I have no more specialist hopscotch or repeat tests that can't change anything. I finally have a clear path to follow. No more guessing, no more dead ends." So, on average, the women who stick with us and go through this process, they're saving thousands of dollars that they used to spend on piecemeal fixes. And more importantly, they get back the one thing that you cannot refund their time. Time with energy, time with focus, time actually living without planning their day around symptoms. Does this sound like what you've been missing? Well, this is where the wasted years stop and the right steps start. How much time and money have you poured into fixes that didn't fix anything? Mm. So, what you'll get inside the thyroid and hormone root reset system is the thyroid and hormone root reset consulting. What else do you need to make sure you have success? The hormone clarity crash course. Everything you need to understand your hormones, and it's fast. And we do this during the weekly consulting sessions. So, being a hormone and thyroid specialist, I had to get used to tears. Seeing women cry, and not because they were hormonal or emotional, but because I would share facts with them on about hormones and how they affected their health, and it was information they had never heard, information that could completely transform their health for the better if it could only be implemented in a real life plan, and that if only could become their hope, their lifeline, and their pursuit. And if a simple truth could reshape your entire health story, wouldn't you want to know it now rather than 5 years from now? So over and over again, I ran into this same wall, the information gap. The women saying, "Oh my gosh, I've never heard this before. This is my first time seeing this." This brilliant, capable women had never been told that their thyroid could be the reason why they kept having miscarriages or were never able to conceive. Like a lot of women didn't know that their progesterone being so low was why they always had unusually heavy and long menstrual cycles. No one knew that there is a link between uterine fibroids and hypothyroidism. Some already had complete hysterectomies or even had their thyroid removed and they were still suffering from symptoms. They couldn't understand why the surgeries didn't fix everything. And if simply understanding the true cause could save you from years of unnecessary suffering, wouldn't that knowledge be priceless? Yeah. Well, after seeing so many women having hysterectomies that could have been prevented, I finally was able to catch a woman before she went down this surgery path. And I'll call her Miss Ava. So, for Miss Ava, her menstrual cycle wasn't a few difficult days. It was 3 straight weeks, month after month. 3 out of the 4 weeks bleeding, and it was so heavy, it was like a faucet being turned on. The toll was brutal on her body. She was completely exhausted. She work was a struggle. If she was at home, she wasn't present at all with her family. She was just sleeping. Family time was basically impossible. Intimacy with her husband was a no-go. Her husband and her kids, they just wanted their wife and their mom back, and she wanted to feel normal again. If you were in her shoes and someone finally explained the real reason behind your suffering, wouldn't that give you a glimmer of hope? So the breaking point came on an ordinary drive home for her. She blacked out behind the wheel with her children in the car and she nearly hit a utility pole. That's how severe the blood loss had become. At the hospital, they confirmed it. She had lost so much blood she needed a transfusion, and they recommended that she get a hysterectomy. And Miss Ava became a client of ours, and I started teaching her about hormones. I called Miss Ava through, I walked Miss Ava through what many women are never told. Your uterus and ovaries aren't just parts, they are a hormone engine. Removing the uterus can be like pulling the engine out of a car. And for many women, that's when the dominoes start to fall. Heart issues, chronic pain, insomnia, perpetual weight gain, just one problem after another. So when she understood how a hysterectomy could impact her long term health, and how her hormones actually protect her, she made an informed choice. Try hormone replacement first to control the menstrual bleeding. And it worked. She dramatically reduced her cycles to a normal monthly flow. She was ecstatic. She felt like herself again. Her husband and kids were overjoyed that mom was back. And she avoided having a hysterectomy. She completely avoided having a major life altering, quality of life reducing surgery. If relief like that were possible for you without losing organs and without losing hope, wouldn't you want that outcome too? Without those aha moments from her learning about hormones, her path was bleak. Either a surgery she didn't want or months of dangerous blood loss until her body was going to finally give out. Neither gives you the life you're praying for. With clarity, she had safe, effective options, and she chose the one that gave her her life back. So let me ask you, what could a lack of hormone knowledge be costing you? Your energy, your peace, your future? If a 30-minute lesson could prevent a 30-year problem, what would that be worth to you? I saw so many women that were suffering from debilitating issues like Miss Ava. Their family life was completely disrupted. Their jobs were shaky. Marriages were suffering because so many women were dealing with terrible symptoms for years. And these women began to believe that their health issues was simply the price of being a woman. And that belief was stealing their hope. So, inside of the Hormone Clarity Crash Course, you're going to get, what does thyroid and hormone dysfunction really look like? What causes thyroid disease? What are natural hormone replacement therapies? Do hormones actually cause cancer? What hormones control which part of our bodies? And anything you could ever want to know about hormones. I'm an open book. So you're probably thinking, I've never been able to have all of that explained to me, right? Well, inside the thyroid and hormone root reset system, you're going to get the thyroid and hormone root reset consulting and the hormone clarity crash course. But what else do you need to have to make sure you're successful? The lab precision package. This lab precision package is, we order it, you draw locally, we decode what matters. This package is truly a life-saving lab analysis. Do y'all remember Jane Bloggs from earlier? She was a client that was literally on the brink of death due to her heart issues. Well, God used this lab precision package to save her life. In the sea of lab work that Jane showed me, for some reason there was this one lab value that God highlighted to me. It was her calcium level. It was in the lab's range of normal, but for some reason I decided to investigate her calcium level and it was 10.4 just to see if it was in an optimal range. And it turns out it was not optimal. For her age, her calcium blood level should have been 10.1. Some of you may be thinking, it's good to have extra calcium, right? Wrong. When it comes to calcium, we want it to be in our bones and we want it to be in our teeth, and we don't want it in high amounts in our blood. So that zero point 0.3 difference in her calcium level being outside of the range of optimal was going to cost her her life if someone didn't catch it. And her calcium blood levels have been elevated above optimal, but within the lab's range of normal for years. None of her doctors had caught it. So, what does this high calcium in her blood mean? She had a condition called hyperparathyroidism, in which benign tumors in her parathyroid glands was causing the calcium to leave her bones and go into her blood. So, why would this matter to me as a hormone and thyroid specialist? Because I have to make sure anyone that's getting hormone replacement have to make sure their bodies can handle it. I don't just recommend something unless I know that their body is actually going to be safe and effective for them. So Jane Blogg, she had had a hysterectomy and her estrogen levels were super low. So I had to screen to see if she was a good candidate for estrogen replacement. You never give someone with tumors estrogen replacement because that estrogen can fuel the growth of the tumor. So this is why her zero point 0.3 difference in her calcium level became of paramount importance to me. She had tumors that needed to be addressed, and that extra calcium in her blood was creating heart palpitations and arrhythmias and bone loss and putting her at a risk of sudden death. If a tiny zero point 0.3 shift could have cost Jane her life, what small, normal result might be hiding in your labs right now? If no one is checking the optimal range, who's guarding your blind spots? Wouldn't you love for me to read your labs for what they mean, not just what they say? So here's what you get inside the lab precision package when I read your labs for you. And this is why it works. You're getting a story driven, targeted panel. We start with your health story, then we order the labs that answer the actual questions. Getting a complete thyroid picture, sex hormones, metabolic and inflammatory markers, nutrients, antibodies when appropriate, and when it matters, you're going to check saliva sometimes and cortisol stress testing. And if your labs finally answered the right questions instead of the wrong ones, wouldn't that change everything for you? Yes. And this direct access and speed, local draw centers, no referral bottlenecks, no month long waiting. Oh no, well, no waiting months. It would be nice if it was just 1 month. You're not waiting for months. We're moving from questions to answers and we move fast. You're getting the optimal range analysis. It's no more generic normal tests. No more being told it's just normal. We're aligning your labs to the optimal range that drives real world relief. You'll see exactly what to fix first, second, and third. So action is clear and the momentum builds. Getting a priority action plan. Your labs become the roadmap, not a mystery. We translate that data into decisions you can take this week. So imagine looking at your results and saying, "Oh, so that's why I'm exhausted at 2 p.m. every day," and actually having a roadmap to fix it, not someday, but in the right order starting now. Most people spend years and thousands of dollars in scattered tests and supplements. But with the Lab Precision package, you stop guessing. You test right, read smart, and invest where it actually moves outcomes. Can you see how this can help you? So when you see this Lab Precision package in your offer stack later, no, this wasn't built in a classroom. This was built with real world application. We earned this with real charts, real people, and real results. Are you done hearing normal while you feel anything but? And this is how we turn labs into a step by step plan you can trust. So, everything you get inside the Lab Precision package, targeted root cause panels, direct access lab ordering, results walkthrough and action map, safety first. You're getting your labs included. Everything's on us. You're getting life saving lab analysis. So, what you're going to get inside of the thyroid and hormone root reset system is the thyroid and hormone root reset consulting. You're getting the hormone clarity crash course, and you're getting the lab precision package. But what else do you need? A guided healing plan. So, inside the guided healing plan, you're getting step by step healing that's customized to your body. So, a quick show of hands. So, when starting a new health regimen, have you ever asked yourself, what do I do first? Do I start with the natural hormone replacement or do I detox first? These were the kind of questions that I heard from our clients. And honestly, I didn't love my answer all the time. I'd say both matter, which is true, but not helpful when you're somebody whose energy is tanked and your brain is foggy. So when I first started consulting with women, I would give them a list of things that they needed to do in order to fix their thyroid and hormones. And I felt great about it. I thought, perfect. Now they have everything they need to get started. But, you know, I started to notice that there was a pattern here. I had to do so much following up with these clients, like emails, text messages, phone calls, the office drop by visits. These were really smart women doing smart things from my provided list, but they were doing things in the wrong order. It was like playing the right notes, but out of sequence. Instead of music, it was just noise. And I soon realized that my provided list was far too skimpy. I had to bulk up my list by turning it into a step by step plan that removed all of the questions. And that's when it dawned on me. What if I remove every decision and just give them the exact order? One, step two, step three. Not just what to take, but when to take it, what to eat with it, and which body system we're working on this week. Whether is it liver or is it adrenals for stress, like so the body can just say yes instead of no. And that's when we created what my clients now call the mother of all health plans. And here's what it looks like in real life. It's exactly what to take, hormones, supplements. It's exactly what to eat, exactly which system we're focusing on. No guesswork, no decision fatigue. Just do this next. And the best part, I email you the plan. You open it, you follow it. No more, should I start this now? No more supplement guessing. You literally don't have to think, you just progress. And the old belief was if I just add more things, it'll eventually work. But the truth is, more is not better. The right thing in the right order at the right time is best. Imagine waking up and knowing exactly what today asks of you, what you take, what you eat, which system we're tuning, and what tomorrow's step will be. That's what removes the stress. That's what creates traction. That's how symptoms stop running the show. If I gave you that step by step plan that would finally help you feel normal again, so the order is handled, the timing is handled, and the plan is yours, would you follow it? Because in a few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to get it, and we'll start with your first steps. And if having someone take the guesswork off your plate is what finally gets you your breakthrough, wouldn't that be worth saying yes to this special offer? Hmm. So, the guided healing plan done right. Let me show you exactly what's inside the plan and why it works so quickly. You're getting the personalized roadmap. You're getting priorities and timeline. You're getting a daily action card, a food framework. We're literally, telling you what to eat, what not to eat. Toxin light living, safety and fit review. We're getting the progress you can feel and you can see. You're gonna get a simple symptom improvement tracker, and you get weekly expert guidance. So the bottom line is you're walking away with a clear sequence plan that targets root causes, reduces overwhelm, and turns effort into results. Sleep, energy, mood, digestion, and weight finally responding the way you want it to. If you want a calm, guided path instead of more trial and error, then this is it. Do you want a plan you can trust and a guide to make it simple? Well, then get in on this special offer now and we'll map out your first steps. So, what you get inside of our thyroid and hormone root reset system, the thyroid and hormone root reset consulting, you get the hormone clarity crash course, you're getting the lab precision package, and you're getting the guided healing plan. What's another thing you need? The customized hormone therapies coordinated with your doctor. But first, let me explain what hormones are. Because I don't know, I just want to make sure we're on the same page here, that everyone may know. Hormones are powerful chemicals that help regulate numerous functions in your body. It's too numerous for us to be able to discuss in this web class. So, just to give you an idea of how much of your body that hormones control, just one out of the three estrogens that your body makes controls 400 different functions in your body. Take thyroid hormones. Every organ in your body needs thyroid hormones: brain, heart, bowels, kidney, liver, hair, skin, muscle, bones, weight, reproduction, mood. Your hormones play a huge role in the functioning of each of these parts. That's why people with hormonal issues feel like their body is falling apart and their symptoms feel so random because hormones affect all the different parts of your body. And the hormones all work together like a symphony. Whether it's the cello section or the violin section, all of the hormones in our bodies must play together. And they have to play together in harmony so that we maintain hormonal balance and stay healthy. If a woman's estrogen is too high, it can knock out her thyroid and testosterone, making them too low. So we must have balance. None of us could tolerate listening to a symphony that is out of tune and out of balance. So it is the same with our bodies. Hormonal imbalance is intolerable for an individual when it makes them, it's because that it makes them unhealthy. It's hard for that person to function. When it comes to our hormone response, it's as unique to each person as their own fingerprints. This is why no one should ever take hormone replacement that has not been customized and created for their unique hormonal design. When replacing hormones, customized, individually designed hormone replacement therapy is the most effective. One size fits all won't work when it comes to hormone replacement and balancing. So, and if your hormones truly are as unique as your fingerprints, wouldn't a personalized approach make a whole lot more sense than a one size fits all plan? hmm So, what is hormone replacement? You have two options here. You can do synthetic hormones or you can do body identical or bioidentical hormones. So, the synthetic hormones, they don't have the same chemical structure as what our bodies normally make or naturally make, but the body identical hormones have the same chemical structure. So that's why our bodies receive the body identical hormones as if we had made it. That's why they're called the natural hormones. Synthetic hormones, they stay on the receptor sites way longer than the natural hormones. They stay on receptor sites for about 6 months. So a receptor is like a baseball mitt, and then the hormone would be the baseball. And so when the baseball connects to the mitt, which is the hormone receptor, that's how you have activity and an effect in the body. So with synthetic hormones, this pairing is happening for 6 months, which is not what we want because naturally your hormones stay on their hormone receptor for about 3 months. And the body identical hormones mimic that. They stay on your receptors for about 3 months. Synthetic hormones actually waste energy and they don't balance the rest of the hormones well, whereas body identical hormones are great at balancing all the other hormones. And another difference between synthetic and body identical is that synthetic hormones have terrible side effects. Like, really so bad that usually after a year, you'll see that about 50% of women actually quit taking the synthetic hormones because the side effects are that bad. And synthetic hormones are, they're mass produced. Like, it's definitely one size fits all formulations there. But when it comes to the body identical hormones, which is the best way to replace hormones, it's actually safe and effective. And it's easier to customize this to fit patients' needs when you're doing the body identical hormone replacement. And actually, body identical hormones may help to slow down aging and keep you on track for long term health and wellness. One of the key differences you'll see with the synthetic and body identical hormones to me is found in that Women's Health Initiative study. It was this huge, grand scheme, study that they were doing with women. And in that study, they only used synthetic hormones. But after about, it actually had to end 3 years early due to an increased risk of breast cancer and heart issues. But to date, when it comes to the body identical hormones, there's still no study that shows a link between body identical hormones and cancer, strokes, or heart attack. So that's just the big difference here. Synthetic hormones, mass produced, one size fits all. It's not fitting your hormonal fingerprint and it's harmful and can be dangerous. Body identical hormones, remember you're replacing hormones is the best thing to do. It's the really the only way to go if you want safe, effective, anti-aging, health promoting hormone replacement. So, of course, we had to do it, right? In our thyroid and hormone root reset system, we had to offer clinical grade body identical hormone replacement therapy. This is customized prescriptions coordinated with your doctors. The next thing that you're going to get is this in your plan, in your system. And this is where we're putting everything that's just going to be ready for your doctor to approve. And so, why we created this when I first started consulting women about their hormones, I saw so much bad stuff that had been done to these women by the medical system, and it just didn't make any sense. I'm talking about stuff that these women were going through that was just plain wrong when it came to hormone replacement. I was seeing stuff like a woman being given hormones that came from horse urine. Horse urine. Now, y'all know that doesn't sound right. There's no medical degree required to come to this conclusion. And this lady was taking this hormone, horse urine, and she started having an abnormal tumor growth. And if something as simple as using the wrong hormone source could lead to tumors, wouldn't you want to make sure your hormones are coming from the right place? I would. And then I would see insanely high and harmful hormone doses being used. Like one lady was being given testosterone pellets in such a high dose that her testosterone levels were almost as high as a man's. So, just to put it into context, a man's testosterone level is at least 10 times higher than a woman's, but her testosterone level was quickly approaching the man's. Then I had another woman paying upwards of $300 a month on her hormone replacement, and she was being given so much estrogen. She was given more estrogen than what is given to a man when he's trying to convert from a man to a woman. She's already a woman, so why would she ever need that much estrogen? Her risk of getting cancer was astronomically high. Can you imagine spending $300 a month for something that could be giving you cancer? When I'm telling y'all, I have seen insanely high doses of hormones being given to people. I'm telling y'all the truth. It's not safe in these hormone streets when you're dealing with doctors that don't understand hormones and they just see it as a way to make more money. And if you've discovered the therapy that you were trusting was actually putting you at risk, wouldn't you want someone to step in and show you the right way? I was seeing hormone pellets and injections. They were given in such a high amount, like they would give such high amounts on that first day, and then their hormone levels would drop by the end of the month, and the woman felt horrible. She felt great in the beginning, and then she felt horrible by the end of the month. And that's not how it's supposed to go. Number one, that's not how our body makes hormones. And number two, those super high doses of hormones being injected to them into them in the beginning of the month puts them at risk for diseases and other illnesses. If your hormones swung from sky high to rock bottom every month, would you ever would you feel good? Would you ever feel like you were actually healing? No one would. These hormones were being given the wrong way. Oh my gosh. I was seeing people taking stuff by mouth when it should be applied topically. Estrogen was being given without progesterone. You never give estrogen without progesterone. You can give progesterone without estrogen. Then women were being denied hormone replacement because of a suspected heart issue. But that denial of hormone replacement can actually perpetuate and create a heart issue. Why? Because a woman's heart needs hormones to work. Then I had a woman being given birth control pills in her 50s in order to manage menopause symptoms. I was like, really? Okay, let's just remove the obvious wrong of a medication that's used to prevent birth being given to someone who could no longer have a baby. Let's just remove that from this. And let's look at the danger of what we're doing to the woman's heart, especially with her being over the age of 35 and taking oral estrogen. Oral estrogen increases the risk of heart attack and stroke. So I saw some doctors not wanting to give women hormones because they didn't want to put them at risk of heart disease, which was wrong to do. Those women just needed the right hormones being dosed the right way. You give estrogen topically, you never give estrogen orally. Then I had these other doctors practically throwing hormones at women, like this birth control example, and literally creating diseases in these women, like heart disease and cancer. Doesn't it make sense that the right hormone given the right way could protect you, while the wrong approach could harm you? I saw women being given antidepressants, anti anxiety meds, and sleeping pills instead of just giving them the hormone replacement that would actually fix all those issues. I saw women that were being denied T4 and T3 thyroid hormone replacement. Like most doctors, they're willing to prescribe levothyroxine, which is the T4 thyroid hormone, and because it remains the gold standard and first line treatment for hypothyroidism in the United States. But here's a few things wrong with this whole situation. First, by the time a lot of the doctors prescribe this ineffective levothyroxine, these people have waited till the TSH is super high in their lab work, sometimes as high as 10. And an optimal TSH, which is the thyroid stimulating hormone, is 1 to 2. An elevated TSH is a sign of hypothyroidism, and no one should have to wait to receive treatment. Now they've made this patient suffer with hypothyroidism, and then the levothyroxine doesn't hardly work to make their thyroid work better. That's because levothyroxine is only T4. T4 is called a prohormone because it has to be converted into the active thyroid hormone called T3. T4 by itself won't make you feel good unless your body can convert it into T3. And there are a whole lot of things that make it hard for someone to convert T4 into T3. T3 is so important because T3 is 300% more biologically active than T4. T3 is what your brain, your kidney, your liver, your heart, your metabolism, it's what all of the parts of your body need. So the patient that are being denied that, it is so brutal to see. And then I would see patients that were told that they needed thyroid hormone replacement, but then the levothyroxine they were given didn't make them feel any better, and they still had hypothyroid symptoms because most doctors don't understand the importance of T3 hormone. But doesn't it make sense to y'all? If I give you levothyroxine to replace your low thyroid levels and you still have all of the symptoms of low thyroid, then doesn't that mean the levothyroxine isn't working? Shouldn't the doctor investigate why the levothyroxine isn't working? Just a simple look at what levothyroxine is and how it works would easily show that these women were not converting the levothyroxine into the active T3 thyroid hormone. But no one was looking, and the women kept on suffering. And if your medication wasn't helping you, wouldn't you want someone to actually ask why instead of just blaming your body? And the doctors that knew about the T3 hormone oftentimes weren't willing to prescribe it because they said it wasn't FDA approved or it wasn't properly regulated. One of the T4 and T3 combo hormone replacements, it's been on the market for more than 120 years, long before the FDA was even founded. There is no reason patients should be denied access to thyroid hormone replacement that could work for them while we wait for FDA approved versions to become available. I saw so much, guys. Then I was seeing these fake functional medicine doctors or holistic doctors who were regular, they were really just regular traditional doctors who saw natural medicine as a get rich quick scheme. Man, these doctors were charging women hundreds or thousands of dollars for their services. And then they would have them spend buku dollars on expensive labs to do all that and just give them a one size fits all hormone replacement. So one of the reasons why this scam worked so good was because the women thought they were being given custom care because the hormone replacement was being made by a compounding pharmacy. This couldn't be further from the truth. A lot of time those compounding pharmacies and the doctors they were working together, and the compounding pharmacies had just given the doctor a sheet of a pre-printed hormone doses that the doctor would just check a box, so not individualized for each person. Like it was, oh, my earring just came out. It was a huge. Sorry, I got so passionate and ripped my earrings out. It would be the sheet, and it would have like, oh man, would they have like 20 different doses on it of all the different things the doctors could pick. And all they had to do was just check a box. That's all the doctors would do. They're just checking boxes. The doctor may have actually spent, 1 to 2 hours consulting the patient, and they may have ordered a ton of lab work, but none of that was being used actually to determine which hormone replacement she actually needed when the doctors are just checking boxes. So now compounded hormone replacement was the same as a doctor just prescribing something from big pharma. It was just being mass produced. It wasn't customized and it wasn't specific to the patient's needs. I could really just keep going all day talking about all of the wrong things that I observed out here in these hormone streets. It was a hot mess. Women were suffering and being harmed by the very doctors they trusted, and they were paying with their bodies, paying with their dollars. And if you knew there was a safer, smarter, individualized way, wouldn't you choose that over the chaos you've just heard about? This hormone malpractice that was observing was so egregious that I had to create a better path for our clients to get safe and effective hormone replacement. And if someone finally showed you this better path, one built on science, precision, and safety, wouldn't you want to take it? Absolutely. So, the white glove body identical hormone replacement system is where compounded therapies and doctor consulting is provided. It just clicked for us. We built the white glove system, customized, built for each patient, where I'm personally coaching your doctor, and it's all backed by science. No more one size fits all. No more cancer causing, disease creating hormone replacement. No more ineffective hormone replacement. No more guessing. It's customized with doctor or pharmacy consulting which gives you predictable, safer progress. uh, Inside of it, you're getting the customized body identical hormone replacement, which is going to include thyroid hormone replacement and any other compounded prescriptions that are needed with exact dosing based on symptoms, medical history, and lab data. No box checking here. You're getting body identical hormones compounded specifically for you, and it's to your hormonal fingerprint, not mass produced. The timing, delivery, route, everything mapped to you. T4 and T3 hormone replacement options instead of just levothyroxine alone. The cost of the therapies are all included, all built into the package. So there are no surprise add ons just to get started. None of that. No surprises here. Easy to start. The doctor pharmacy consulting with your doctors is where I'm preparing the evidence based justification for your therapy. Some of you guys have realized that you may have needed T4 and T3 hormone replacement, but you haven't been able to convince your doctor to prescribe it for you. Now you don't have to worry about that. I do all the explaining for you. I send your physician a clear professional recommendation and the science that supports it. So it's easy for your doctor to say yes. So, you're not left explaining your own plan in a 10-minute visit to your doctor, who doesn't really have a great understanding of hormones, probably. So now you can throw out that terrible belief that most doctors are pushing, that hormone replacement is body identical hormone replacement is basically the same for everyone. Just pick a dose. Just throw that out because that is not true. Body identical hormone replacement is a precision therapy. When dosing is personalized and coordinated with your doctor, your body finally gets what it actually needs. So, what this means for you, you're getting precision dosing tailored to your physiology, your lab work, your symptoms, your past medical history, and your doctor gets that clear professional guidance and the proof behind it. You're getting the momentum without the runaround because the coordination is all done for you. If we handled the custom dosing of your thyroid and other hormones, and the compounding and the evidence packet for your doctor and included the therapy costs in one clean package, would that make it easier for you to finally move forward? Well, that's what we all do. That's all included. So, what you get inside the thyroid and hormone root reset system, you're getting the thyroid and hormone root reset consulting, you're getting the hormone clarity crash course, you get the lab precision package. You get the guided healing plan, and you get the clinical grade body identical or bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, the custom prescriptions coordinated with your doctor. And the last thing that you may need, ah, the Root Reset Core Kit and the Concierge Care Kit. The Root Reset Core Kit is the engine of your reset. And you pair that with the Concierge Care Kit, which is clean living made effortless, and you get easy. Simply easy. A lot of our clients were booked and busy and had brain fog. And as you can imagine, this was not a good combination. I was creating guided healing plans that was fixing their hormones, their gut, stress levels, food choices, and these women were already tired and had difficulty concentrating. They were already juggling so much in their personal lives between their family, careers, and hobbies. And now here I come saying, go buy this vitamin and buy these types of toxin-free personal care products. And oh yeah, while you're out, make sure you grab a squatty potty to help you poop. These ladies didn't need any more work to do. Their healing journey couldn't feel like another job. They needed to be able to rest and de-stress while they healed. So then, light bulb goes off. Our guided healing plan, without giving our clients the exact health supplies discussed in their plan, is stressful for them. If I want you to win, I can't hand you a to do list. I have to hand you the tools. So we created the Root Reset Core Kit and the Concierge Care Kit precisely matched to your plan and makes it easy for you to use. If all the tools arrive to your door ready to go, wouldn't that remove the hardest part of getting healthy? We took everything that we do clinically and all of the items needed for our clients to have for this 30 days of our program, and we turned it into a done for you white glove solution. Root Reset Core Kit, the clinician built core of your protocol, vitamins, supplements, body identical hormones, all customized for you based on your labs and history. Naturally compounded therapies, gentle, precise tools that most clients can't get from their traditional doctor. Everything dialed and tuned into your body. You get the concierge care kit, the day to day essentials that protect and support your results. Low toxin, personal care items, all delivered to your door. Protein and meal replacements, the mighty squatty potty, deodorant, lotion, uh, clean home basics, all of it, everything screened to avoid hormone disruptors and liver burdening junk. No hunting products, no decoding labels, no, is this safe with my meds? You only get the right steps in the right order with the right supplies delivered right to your doorstep. And if someone handed you the right steps and the right supplies, wouldn't your results come faster and easier? Building this, y'all, it was a grueling process. We spent months sourcing brands that actually test clean, rejecting dozens for hidden fragrances and hormone disruptors. I reworked hormone formulas to make sure timing and route produced steady, not spiky signals. I wrote dosing cards and built safety checks for medication interactions. We even pressure tested shipping so a woman in Tulsa or Tel Aviv could open a box and start confidently the same day. If all that work on our end saved you months or years of struggle on your end, wouldn't that be worth it? So inside of the thyroid and hormone root reset system, you get the thyroid and hormone root reset consulting. You get the hormone clarity crash course. You get the lab precision package. You get the guided healing plan. You're getting the clinical grade body identical hormone replacement therapy with custom prescriptions coordinated with your doctors. And you're getting the root reset core kit plus the concierge care kit all delivered to your doorstep. So if all this did was finally turn down the hot flashes, and if it helped you focus and be attentive and finally lose all that extra weight, would it be worth it to work with us? If all the thyroid and hormone root reset system did was help you to sleep throughout the night and be energized throughout the day, steady your mood, bring back your confidence and libido, and let you show up present, patient, and connected with the people you love, would it be worth it to become a client of ours? If all the root reset system did for you was give you the exact plan you need to get your life back and feel like yourself again and be able to say yes to new opportunities and travel, would it be worth it to have us on your healthcare team? When I built the thyroid and hormone root reset system, I really had two choices. I had option one, I could go cheap and generic. I could price this low, rush through 10 to 20 consults a day like a typical office, and give everyone a one size fits all PDF, wish you luck, and move on to the next chart. It's affordable upfront, but here's the truth. I wouldn't have time to study your labs deeply. I couldn't coordinate with your doctor. I couldn't answer your weekly questions. And I couldn't ship the exact tools you need. You'd be DIYing your health, and that's the same path that's already cost you months and a supplement graveyard that's probably hiding in your pantry. Or I could go with option two, fewer clients and higher touch. I could ask for a higher investment, take fewer clients, and go all in on your outcome for a 30-day period. I could do 90-minute deep dives that actually connect your story to your labs. I could do targeted optimal range analysis. No more low normal or high normal. Do direct to consumer labs so you're not waiting on referrals. I could do custom body identical coordination with your physician when appropriate. I could give you a sequence step by step plan. I could do weekly check ins. I could do delivered a toolkit. All this I'd be able to do if I just chose option two. Does this path require more from us? Oh, absolutely. It's more time, it's more brain power, it's more accountability, it's more support. Does it require a bigger investment from you? Yes. But in exchange, you're not investing in information. You're investing in speed, clarity, and execution. You're investing in the shortest path from I've tried everything to I finally feel like me. Do you want the inexpensive, high volume version where you're mostly on your own, which is probably what most of you guys are already doing? Or do you want the white glove, done with you experience where we build, we can sequence and support your plan week by week for the next 30 days? What's a second chance at feeling alive worth to you? Getting yourself back, not in abstract, but in your real life. How much is it worth? Is it 25,000, 100,000, or even more? How much would you finally pay to feel normal again? Balanced hormones, they don't just help you feel better. They protect your brain, your heart, your bones, your metabolism, your mood, your longevity, and your overall quality of life. If all this did was restore your patience and presence with the people you love, would it be worth it? If all this did was end that specialist ping ponging and the months of waiting, would it be worth it? If all this did was give you the energy to pursue your dreams and all those dreams that you put on hold, would it be worth it? Type worth it in the chat if restored relationships and pursuing your dreams would change your life. Now, let's just anchor this down for a second. Over the last few years, what's the price you've paid for try and see? Like in real dollars, in your time, in your energy. The supplement and prescription graveyard in the pantry, the copays and referrals, and your labs or normal visits, the specialist runaround and months of waiting, the work days you didn't have the energy for, the date nights and family moments you missed because you felt awful. When you add it all up, the lost time, the lost energy, the lost opportunities for many women, it's not $500 or $5,000. It's 25,000, 50,000, or even 100,000 plus more dollars of a few years of trial and error. So, how much would you invest to have a step by step plan, expert eyes on your labs, read to optimal ranges, not just normal, weekly guidance for 30 days, and a concierge path that that removes the guesswork? Because here's the truth, staying stuck and doing nothing is the most expensive plan of all. You keep paying in time, in money, in health, and in joy. So, what's the cost of doing nothing? Let's look at the real cost of wait and see. So if we fast forward 90 days on the current path that you're already on, what actually changes? For most women I meet that have hormonal imbalances and thyroid issues, the answer is not much. The night sweats still hijacks sleep, the midsection weight won't budge, the brain fog stalls your focus, and the lab report still shows normal. 6 months from now, the hidden costs stack up. Another referral, another watch and wait, another cart of supplements and prescriptions you try for 3 weeks and then you just put on the shelf. That's time and money you never get back. But the real bill is energy. Energy you should be spending on your career, your workouts that are keeping you strong, and the people you love. Every foggy morning is a missed meeting, a skipped workout, a canceled dinner, lost income, wasted gym memberships, extra copays, and opportunities just sliding by. When your energy is down, your earning power is down. So, what's that worth over a quarter? Over a year? That's the silent high dollar tax of not fixing this. And here's the part nobody mentions: unaddressed hormone and thyroid imbalances don't just steal comfort, they start compounding. Bone density doesn't wait, metabolism doesn't pause. Mood, sleep, and libido affect your marriage and your confidence. Not deciding is deciding for more of the same issues and the runarounds that you're already having. Let me ask you the real question: what's more expensive, investing in a proven, guided plan now or paying the symptom tax for another year? Wouldn't you prefer to start now before your symptoms get worse? But the great news is that the thyroid and hormone root reset system, it isn't a cost, it's an investment. See, costs disappear, but an investment pays you back. Wouldn't you love to experience the payback of a longer, stronger, happier life? Yes, of course you would. So here's the simple next step. Before we ever talk numbers, we make sure there's a real fit between us. So we're opening up our application to get on a free one-on-one strategy phone call with me. On this call is where we will discuss your specific problems and goals and what your investment in our root reset system really looks like, so that what you invest in our system matches the results you want. Typically, we charge about $750 per hour for one on one consulting, but because we want to pinpoint exactly how our thyroid and hormone root reset system can move you from your symptoms to a plan, we're making this call free for you. However, my schedule is full and it's really busy, so we don't have a lot of spaces left for this free strategy call. So we're going to open this up for an application, and we're going to review those applications and find the ones that we feel are the best fit to get on that free strategy call with me. Because this is a concierge high touch care program. We want to make sure that we're good for one another. It keeps the quality high and it keeps your outcome strong. Are you ready to make your next month look different than the last year? Then here's what you need to do right now. Open a new tab. Go to www.hormonereset.org/application. Or you can just take a screenshot of this slide. And once you do the screenshot, you click the QR code or the website. And then you're going to answer a few smart questions. It takes you about 5 minutes and it won't close the webinar out. So when you're done, you can type applied in the chat so I know to look for you. If personalized concierge level support is what finally gets you the breakthrough you've been hoping for, wouldn't it make sense to apply for the free strategy call while spots are still available? Exactly. Go apply now at the link on the slide. When the spots are filled, the link will come down. Now you have two choices. Your first option is do nothing, not take this leap of faith, and then you'll guarantee you'll stay exactly where you are right now. Or your second option is go apply for this free strategy call with me, which is 100% risk free. And compared to all the value you'll get in return, just give it a shot. Apply now at that link. The real question is it worth investing just a few minutes to apply for a free one on one strategy call with me? Because if it does even half of what I've shown you today, it'll pay for itself the moment you start to feel normal again. You've already done the hard part. You showed up, you stayed with me, And a part of you knows this matters. As you sit there, take a slow breath in and notice how your body feels imagining the shift when sleep returns, the weight comes off, the fog lifts, and your mood steadies. If all this did was move you toward that, would a few minutes be worth it? By the way, remember, our private consults are normally about $750 an hour. So tonight, because you're here, I'm opening a handful of free spots for applications. Think of it like we're giving you a $750 gift card. There's no strings attached, so you can decide with confidence. You're here, you're you care, you want a simple guided plan. Good. So what you'll get inside of the thyroid and hormone root reset system. You get the thyroid and hormone root reset consulting, which is 90 minutes a week. You're going to get the hormone clarity crash course, the lab precision package, the guided healing plan, the clinical grade body identical hormone replacement therapy, custom prescriptions coordinated with your doctor, and the root reset core kit, plus the concierge care kit. So, what you do now, you go apply. Apply at that link, www.hormonereset.org/application. And remember, the spots are limited. So, if you want it, go now. You won't miss the webinar. Just open it up in a new tab. And now, we want to do some live Q&A. I'm going to check the chat and all the different screens and emails here. So, bear with me. I'm going to be looking all around. So, here we go. So, one of the first questions that I see is what's the price? Okay. So, quick heads up. I'm not going to share pricing on this webinar. And here's why. This isn't a one size fits all program. It's your labs, it's your symptoms, it's your phase, whether you're perimenopause, postmenopause, no menopause, if it's your thyroid status, whether you got Hashimoto's or you got hypothyroid, hyperthyroid, your medications, all of that change the plan, and the plan drives the investment. So if I threw a number on a slide right now, I'd either overquote and scare you off, or I would underquote and then set the wrong expectation. And neither one serves you. So that's why there's no prices given. And then another question. Okay. How long is the all inclusive white glove service? It's 30 days. 30 days from the time that we actually give you the plan. That's when your 30 days are going to start. So, yes, great question. It's a 30-day program. Oh, another one. Does insurance cover your services? No, insurance doesn't cover our services through the traditional way, like doctor's office do the medical billing. The way that insurance covers our service I guess, in a more hip, up to date way, is that they use the flexible spending account and the health savings account or the Benny cards. That's how you can get it covered by insurance. And what ages? Okay, this is much better. We just put it. We're able to put it up on this screen, so I don't have to keep looking all around here. Okay, so what ages do you help? For most of these women that we're helping and the client cases that we've provided tonight, those women are usually between the age of 40 to like 65 years old. It's usually the age range that we see with most of the women that we're helping. Now, we've had, some pediatric cases. Yes, we can do that. We've had, clients as young as 20 years old or 21 years old. We've done that, So really, if somebody feels like they need the thyroid and hormone root reset system, we want you to go ahead and apply. If you're under 18, have your parents apply for you, and so that we can evaluate it case by case to see, because we want to help, right? We want to help everybody. But the ages of who I presented in the actual webinar, those women were between 40 to 65 years old. Honestly, I would love to catch somebody in their 20s without them spending decades of suffering. So, 20 years old, come on. If you're ready to invest in your health and you're tired of being stuck, you need to go ahead and apply now and just use that link. So, yes, that's a good question. Let me see. Okay. Do you help men also? We do help men. We do. We have male clients. One thing that we just noticed that the difference between men and women is that women seem to be more complex, right? There just seem to be more moving parts, and so a robust system like this is something probably that a woman is going to want more than a man. And so that's why we only presented cases about women in the webinar. But yes, we help both men and women. So if you're a man and you want to sign up, feel free to apply for that free strategy call, and then we can meet one on one if we see you qualify. Let's see. And then okay, so somebody said, once I sign up for the thyroid and hormone root reset system, how soon should I expect to start seeing results? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get to it when I get these results. So I what we say is so once we go through the application, see if you're a good fit for the call, get you on the call, then you decide to invest in the system. We're going to send you those forms. You're going to fill them out. Then you're going to go for lab work. So, and once after the lab work, then we have our initial meeting where we're doing the thyroid and hormone root consulting. And so after that, then you're going to be given the plan. So once you get that plan and start doing the things in the plan, I would say 1 to 2 weeks after that is when you'll start actually seeing results. And you're gonna, I mean, let's be real, you're gonna start feeling better in that week, and that's not an overstatement because you've never had this overhaul of your health being done. I'm sure of it. I'm confident of it. So yeah, you're gonna start feeling different in that first week, but we'll give ourselves 1 to 2 weeks just to be fair. But yeah, 1 to 2 weeks, you'll start feeling better for sure. And let me see more questions. Oh, somebody said, is there a payment plan? So Care Credit is the payment plan. Care Credit would be the acceptable payment plan if you rather make the investment over a period of time. Definitely an option there. Someone asked, do we do, if we're all filled up, is there a wait list? Great question. Okay, so yes, because this is high uh, concierge care, this is high touch, we can only accept so many clients, right, to get that level of output. So, yes, if we fill up, there is an option for a wait list. So, that's another reason why we're really wanting you just go ahead and apply now. Apply for the free call. We can get you in, and we don't even have to worry about if you're going to go on the wait list or not. But, so yeah, that's just the best thing. Apply, apply, apply. Someone asked, is this a virtual or telehealth program? Like if they are in a, it's like if they're in another state or another country, like how would we meet? Great, great. So we would meet through, yeah, telehealth. That's all the secured, the secured way, a secured form of Zoom. Yeah, we can do that if you're not in our state. And hey, if you don't want to be seen and you don't want the camera, you can just do telephones. That's an option as well. And then if you want to fly in, if you are local, you can always drive into our office. And then of course you can do face to face too if that's what you like. And so, yeah, so we work with clients in other cities, other states, and other countries. Thankfully, thanks to technology, we're able to do that. So, yes, that is an option. And what's the weekly time commitment? So we would say up to 90 minutes. Now, you're not obligated, obviously, to meet with me for 90 minutes, but we give you that time allotment, right? You're going to get me 90 minutes a week that allotted. But if you get everything and your follow up visits done in the 30 minutes, no problem. If you do it in 60 minutes, no problem. But we just want to give you that full time with me so that you never feel rushed. You're never like, oh, wait, I forgot this. I need that. Let's just cut all that out. You come with your questions, you come with your progress, and then we're able to just make those tweaks. So, yes, 90 minutes. And then someone asked, well, is there any support? like in between sessions, like in between those weekly sessions, like, chat or email. Okay. So that, yeah, so we definitely we have email options, but I prefer the text messages. Like our business phone, you can text message, and I don't like answering emails from my phone. So I don't have my emails set up on my phone, but the text messages from the business phone pop right up. So that's just a lot easier for me, to just text message. So, but yeah, long story short, yeah, there is support in between sessions. Of course, you can email. It just may take a little longer for a response, because I have to actually go to the laptop. So text messaging is always quick. But yeah, we have support. And then labs. For labs, someone says, can they use their recent labs? Like if they already have some labs, can I look at those? Of course, yeah. Okay. When you're filling out those discovery forms where, I'm able to collect all your health information and your health story, definitely that's where you would send in the labs with that. If they're too old, I'll let you know. If we need more labs, I'll let you know. Typically, most people never have enough labs. And that's okay, right? No problem. That's why we have the lab precision package. So yes, you can definitely use your recent labs. I'll be happy to look at those as well. And then another lab question: where do I go for the lab draws? Okay, so then you're gonna go to your local lab. So when I send you the lab rec, and then you'll put in your address, and then it shows you the list of labs that are partnered with the direct to consumer lab that we use. So it could be like RML, Quest Lab, DLO, just whatever company in your area is partnered with a direct to consumer lab company. You just pick from that list and you go there. And it's really easy. Yes, signing up is super fast. And somebody asked, how fast are the labs? How fast do you get the lab results back? You really, they drop in those labs into your portal really quick. I'd say like 1 to 2 days. But then I will admit there is this one thyroid lab result that I like to have, the reverse T3. I've noticed that one usually takes a few more days. I think the longest I may have seen is maybe up to 5 days, because it seems like the labs are having to send it out. Like it's like outsourced to someone else. And so that will usually be the last result that I'm waiting on, is that reverse T3. So I think sometimes you can see up to 5 days to get the results, but typically you're going to see majority of the labs come into your lab portal in like 1 to 2 days. So good questions. Let's see. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. It's nicer having it on this screen than to look all around down here. And since somebody said, are the labs included in the program? Yes, yes, labs are included. All labs included. And so if I feel like, you need saliva labs, those will be included. If I feel like I need to see certain things in your urine, that will be included as well. So good, good, good. Um, Someone asked, do I have to take body identical or bioidentical hormones? Do I have to? No, of course not. You did not have to take hormone replacement. And honestly, not everyone needs hormone replacement. I think this is such a good question. Like a lot, there are a lot of cases where when the person has their uterus, they have their ovaries, if they have their thyroid gland, that means the body can produce enough hormones to help sustain their life and actually give them a good quality of life. And so what we have to do though is remove the other barriers that are preventing their hormones from being produced by these organs in sufficient amounts. So some barriers are reducing stress, reducing toxic overload, all those things, looking at those other systems. And so, yeah, if you help somebody, if they, are moving, if they're nutritionally sound, if they have low stress, they typically won't, and they have all their organs, they typically won't need hormone replacement. But if somebody is, severely deficient in those hormones and they're super symptomatic, but they have their organs, then that's just a conversation we have to have. Like, hey, you have the organs, we can get you to, you can get your organs to produce those hormones, or by doing other workarounds, right, reducing stress and all that, or because since you're so symptomatic, we can replace your hormones now and then slowly taper you off of the hormones once you start feeling better and seeing if your body can make it on your own. So there's options here. If you're somebody that's like, nope, I just want to do it without any hormone replacement, cool, then your plan is tailored for you. But if you're somebody that's like, man, I'm too deficient, I'm too symptomatic, I need this hormone replacement now, then we tailor that for you as well. So it's just to each their own. But yeah, you never have to do anything you don't want to do because you're the doctor of you. Like, right? I'm here to be a guide. I'm not here to be a dictator. So, yeah. Great question. And then, oh, so somebody said, oh, what if I'm not a candidate for hormone replacement? Of course, yeah. So then we're doing everything we can to help manage your hormonal response outside of replacing hormones. We're gonna work on the other systems that help to support your hormonal function. So good, but we're gonna always screen to make sure that you're a candidate, a good candidate or not. So, how do I determine the doses and then adjust those and then adjust safely over time? So, all the doses are going to be determined by you, by your body. It's really your labs, it's your symptoms, your medical history that helps to determine the doses and the what would we call it, the pharmacy saying of you start low and you go slow. So you're always wanting to start with the lowest dose possible to help to get effective results. So that also that's a determinant. Since you're just starting out on something, it's going to be lower already, and then we also have to see does that match your lab. So that's all that's being considered in order to determine your dose, and we're adjusting over time, just based on your lab work and then your symptoms over time. So you can't ever just look at one thing. I'm never just looking at labs alone, and this is the number that we see on your lab. Like, you're more than just lab work. You're a human being, so I have to interact with you, know your symptoms, see how things are going on in your life, and that also plays a part in how we adjust the dose. So it is definitely it is definitely a systematic scientific process to find the initial dose and then keep adjusting over time. And good questions, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Oh wait, I think somebody asked. I think I scrolled down too far. Did I miss something? I thought I missed something. Okay, maybe I'm good. I think I'm good. I'm just trying to go in order here. And um, somebody said, ask, will they need to change their diet? You know, hey, if you have, how do I say? So if you have your food choices that are producing great results in your life and you don't have any side effects from what you're eating, it's not causing any inflammation, it's not causing you to feel tired and fatigued and bloated, and you have 2 to 3 regular bowel movements, like if everything is fine, then you won't have to change your diet. But usually people where everything is fine never need my services. They never need us. So the fact that you're here tells me that not everything is 100% perfect with you, right? So that lets me know that there's probably going to be some tweaks needed. And literally, food is medicine. I mean, food is something you're putting in your body every day. And so usually with yes, every client, I can't even fake it with I mean, I can't fake any I'm not faking any of this with y'all, but I can't even say it any nicer. Like, yes, every client has had to change something about their food consumption. Something, whether it's the time they ate, um, you know, the quantity they were eating, but also the types of things that they were eating. That does come up, because you know food can be medicine, and it is medicine. But if people are taking in toxic sources of food, then it's a daily poison injection. And it's causing harm every day. And so, yes, that is something that's a huge thing that we tackle. And that's why we just decided to do, let's just do the meal replacement kits. So then you're not having to think, if your diet has to be changed, which it more than likely will be, at least you're not having to think about, oh, can I eat this? Can I eat that? Can I do this? Can I do that? No, it's just going to be all in the kit delivered to you. So, yes, let's just say yes, 100% of people will need to change their diet when they come on and work with us. But it's all good because you're going to feel great and it's not any stress to you to have to think about what to eat. Um, and someone asked if those care kits are they free from soy and nuts and fragrances? Yes, yes. Yeah, those care kits are hypoallergenic. So, yeah, we account for all the allergies and sensitivities that most people have. Because, when you deal with autoimmune diseases, like I deal with a lot of, patients that have, the thyroid autoimmune disease, Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And so people that are in that state typically they're reacting to a lot of stuff now at this point. They got allergies and they got sensitivities that are going on. And so dealing with that with this patient population has made us extremely sensitive to the avoidance of allergens. So yes, no worries there. Those kits are completely cleaned and ready to be for hypoallergenic delivery. Oh, good questions. And then someone asked, do you help with perimenopause, postmenopause, um, see thyroidectomies? Oh yeah, I we help women in all the different phases of their life, right? We've been able to have teenagers, we've been able to have the young adults, and then but the bulk of our clients have been in that peri and postmenopause phase. A lot of our clients do have had hysterectomies, so that is, but we, if you have we don't discriminate whether, whether you have your uterus, you don't have your uterus, we can help you. Whether you have your thyroid, you don't have your thyroid, we can help you. You're missing your gallbladder, your spleen, your appendix, we help you and we account for those missing organs. I think that's one thing, that's another interesting thing I've noticed in consulting with people all these years is that, like the gallbladder removal, that is, I think, almost shocking how many people don't have their gallbladders. But the gallbladder has a function in the body, and so that's another thing that I end up doing a lot of times in the plan for people who don't have a particular organ, is giving them usually a vitamin or supplement or some kind of herb that replaces that function of that organ, because the person is feeling that missing organ. They're suffering from the symptoms of that, and so that's something that we're able to address in the plan. So yeah, whether you got all the parts or you don't have some of your parts, we can help you. Oh, here's someone asking, do we help with Graves' disease? Uh, Hashimoto's is typically is most people with Hashimoto's are going to have low thyroid function, but sometimes those people can swing and have hyperthyroidism, which is high thyroid function. And Graves' disease is where you see hyperthyroidism. Yes, we actually do help people with Graves' disease. I would love to have more Graves' disease patients, because what I've noticed is, and just in our experience, is that people that have had Graves' disease and had hyperthyroidism they've already had their thyroid radiated or they've had it removed. Now, if you've had the radioactive iodine, to kill the thyroid, you drink the drink, we still help you. We've had multiple clients like that. But just when we notice, it's hard to get them. It's hard to get them before they have something drastic done, like the radioactive iodine or the surgery to remove their thyroid or a part of their thyroid. So yeah, we would love, please, if you have Graves' disease, apply quickly because we want to help you before we want to give you other options, right? Before you have to take something so toxic like the radioactive iodine or have part of your thyroid or your whole thyroid removed. We want to be able to do right what we do in the hormone clarity crash course to sit you down and show you other options and other ways to treat and normalize your thyroid function because Graves' disease is an autoimmune disease. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease. So we treat the root causes of autoimmunity. Once you treat the root causes, then you turn off the autoimmune disease and then you don't see that hyperthyroid activity happening. So yes, we would love to have even more Graves' disease patients. Come on, we are welcoming you with open arms. Uh, oh yeah, and someone asked, will you help people with adrenal issues? Oh yeah, I mean, like, well, everybody got adrenal issues that we work with, right? So for those of you guys that don't know, the adrenal glands are the glands that produce the stress hormone. They primarily produce the stress hormone, the cortisol. So when you're dealing with somebody trying to lower someone's stress levels, that means you're working on those adrenal glands. Really, the communication between their brain and the adrenal glands. That's what the pathways they're working on. And yes, we're well versed and able to help those with adrenal issues. So it's a part of it all. And then, oh yeah, just another question. Do we help men? Yes, we help men. Um, and I'm scanning through the questions because some of these are repeats. Um, oh, somebody asked, do two clients ever get the same plan? The answer is no. No, no. They all are very different. Even the hormone replacement is like we don't have batches made. Sorry, my nose. We don't have batches made up. Like that was another thing we noticed with like the other compounders was that they would have those hormone doses it would have it made in big batches, and that's not every time somebody's hormone replacement is made. Our technician goes into the lab and creates just enough for them for that 1 month. Nobody's plan is the same. No one's hormone replacement is the same. So you don't have to worry about getting Sally Sue's plan. You're gonna get what you need for you. Oh, I like this one. Can my spouse join on the calls? Oh, yes. I actually I think that's really good because it offers additional support for you, additional accountability, and because we mentioned brain fog a lot, but brain fog is real. Sometimes people that have hormonal issues are having difficulty holding attention to be able to do keep their mind and attention focused on one thing for a long period of time sometimes can be difficult or they're just tired. So yeah, it's just easier if you're in, that state to have your spouse there because they can also remind you of things that you maybe forgot to write in your forms or just things wanted to share with me. You're like, "Oh, babe, help me not forget this." Then they can come in and help. And then when you leave, you'll be able to have somebody to talk about the visit with, and then they can remind you of things that I said. So we definitely welcome spouses, whether you come in person or we're doing the telehealth or phone call. They can be on three-way. Like we're hey, we welcome more support, more accountability means more wins for you. So that's what we want. It's all about you here. Whatever you need is what we're going to supply. Oh, this kind of follow alongs with the last question. Well, because somebody's asking, can you record the sessions? And I was thinking about that. So like with the telehealth, it's all about making sure things are safe and secure because you have to make sure somebody's patient information it can be protected. So we need to I would say for the recordings it's going to be easier for you to just like take your phone and then turn on the what's that called, the voice memos, easier to just record it yourself because when you deal with patient information, they usually what is that, the federal government? I don't know that entity that manages it. They don't want stuff to be able to be easily accessed. But yeah, I'm totally fine. Like if you want to personally record it on your device, feel free. And if somebody asks, do they get handouts? Oh yeah, I like handouts. I like handouts. I do. So yeah, definitely handouts. When we're meeting, I may have some things like a hormone diagram, that's out for you to just visualize to be able to see it, or I'll email you things as well. So yeah, you get all the information. Oh yeah, I got 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. Um, okay. Oh, okay. Somebody said, what happens after the program? Do we offer a maintenance plan? Yes, there is a maintenance plan after the 30 days. If you want to continue on for more guidance, then we have different options that you can pick from on how much or how little support you need from us at that point. So, great. Yes, maintenance plan is there. And somebody asked, am I replacing your doctor? Okay, and then so this will be our last one. Are we replacing your doctor? No, actually not at all. We're not replacing the position of your doctor. Ooh, excuse me. So we are just joining your healthcare team here. That's it. Your primary care doctor is still who they are in your life. But now we're just coming on as an addition to your team and just adding some coaching, some much needed coaching for you and your doctor. So no, we're not replacing, we're just collaborating. That's all. And that's it. We've reached the end, y'all. Oh, I'm so excited y'all stayed with me to the end. This has been so much fun. I think it's been powerful. I mean, you guys showed up, you asked smart questions, and you stayed to the very end. So, this tells me you're serious about feeling like yourself again. So, a quick recap of all the promises we made. This is a step by step, patient first way to fix your thyroid and balance your hormones and get your life back without waiting months on referrals or guessing your way through bottles. That's our thyroid and hormone root reset system, and that's the vehicle you're getting that your life that you've always wanted for your life. This is something that you've always wanted or needed. So go ahead, take 5 minutes and apply for that free one-on-one strategy call with me, and let's start mapping your first steps toward feeling normal again. If all this call did for you was give you one personalized insight that helps you to get your spark back, would it be worth 5 minutes to apply? If 30 days from now you had steadier energy and less brain fog, would this be worth it? It's zero risk to apply. In the worst case, you leave with clarity. The best case, you get a guided path and a partner in your corner. So here's exactly what you do now. You're going to open a new tab. Go to www.hormonereset.org/application. And the webinar is going to stay open on another screen. You're going to answer a few smart questions about your symptoms, your goals, and what you've already tried. You hit submit. My team and I review your applications either today or tomorrow, and we reach out personally with your next steps. We keep this program, we keep it small on purpose, guys. It's white glove and it's hands on. When the spots fill up, the link is going to come down. If your gut is whispering, this is my next step, then just trust your gut. What's the real cost of waiting one more month? Missed workouts, foggy mornings at work, snapping at people you love. If one conversation could stop that slide, wouldn't now be a good time to take it? You've heard the stories of women just like you in hormone chaos who went from stuck to steady. They didn't do it alone. They did it with a plan, with support, and with accountability. So go ahead, apply now while we wrap this up. When you're done, type applied in the chat so I know to look for you guys. This isn't a cost, it's an investment. in the next season of your life. If all this did was help you wake up clear, move through your day with energy, and feel like you again, would it be worth 5 minutes right now? I'm cheering for you guys. I'm so excited for you guys. Your best days are ahead of you. So, thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. I can't wait to read through your applications. And if it's a fit, I can't wait to meet with you guys one on one. So, go ahead, apply www.hormonereset.org/application, and I'll see you on the inside. Bye.